And we didn't agree or vote or nothing on it, so. We didn't do that. There's nothing that came from telephones. We didn't discuss that.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to get a cup of coffee. We're going to call this meeting to order here in just a second.
Yeah, we could do that. Okay. We done the bills, didn't we?
Is this the one for today then?
Well, it's a
Yeah.
continuation of yesterday. We continued over.
We done good.
We went into recess.
And
Got hurt on the playground.
All right, we'll come back in from recess. Call this meeting back to order. We'll call roll. Lee Richards,
Yeah.
Shane
Sticker.
is absent, Greg Nivens, Randall Muzzle,
here.
Geraldine Walker.
Here.
Oh, you had them, we did all that last.
So, we need to, go back and, go over the 911 again. The budget, there was some, after the 911 budget meeting yesterday, there were some numbers that had changed, so they need to, bring back their budget.
Do we need to put it on, make most put it on the agenda since it's not on?
Yeah, so for tonight.
I didn't want to have to go through it again.
All right, what you got?
4217.
Page 2.
Page 2. Ain't no sense in going over all of it, just what's changed.
Legal services.
Yep. It went to, that's 7,300. It was 6,000 last year, and then he had requested an increase. I don't know why the 3,500 is in there. That was his fee 20 years ago.
Okay.
And then, of course, it changed the bottom line to 79,255.98. Everything else was the same.
Do we need, can we just do it, or what did we talk about, Greg?
I believe we do. Just tomorrow night, just,
Or we have to do it?
well,
We amended,
amended last night.
well, Dr. Cressy amended the budget last night to show that 7,300.
Okay, so we just need to approve the amendment.
The bottom number is the only thing that changed, yeah.
Well, that way we don't have to have another reading except for one.
According to Mike, I talked to him this morning, and he said, no, he said anything can, as long as the final reading is final.
I'll make the motion.
Now, the first reading that was had on the 911 board, of course, you were presenting it. I thought it had it on there.
Well, it had it at 4,800.
4,800,
Yeah,
yeah.
instead of 6,000,
Okay.
and then it went up to
His numbers didn't
2,500. So
match what we had
so
last
the
night.
total changed $2,500 and went from 81 something to 79 something.
Okay. Okay. All right. I see what you're doing there. So we got a motion to amend, by Randall. That's second.
Yeah.
Lee second.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions?
So on the director's salary, it went up. I thought that was going down if you got both positions.
I don't prepare the budget. That's what-
We hadn't went over that yet.
Yeah.
Cause we don't know if we're gonna hire somebody or he's gonna do it or we're gonna combine them both.
That's future discussions.
Yeah. This is just for,
So it don't need to be decided before we vote on the budget.
well, this is for the yearly budget for him.
probably the only thing that needs to change, we probably just need on, or we put 50,000 in it, for the, probably needs to be put to the old salary, to the old number, as like for full-time, if we go full-time. So you'll have it in there.
Just haven't decided yet, but what to do, is that right?
That's for y'all, not me. I'm just here to help.
All right.
Okay.
Any other questions or anything?
Say do that here.
If no other questions, Lee,
Yeah.
Greg,
Yes, sir.
Randall,
Yes.
and Jordan.
No.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Still safe on that road, that's not. I just still think. We're not gonna take that.
Let's see.
That's just a yearly right now.
That's fine. We will.
We got that.
We need to, under new and old business, we need to, approve a grant match for the chamber using the hotel motel funds in the amount of $2,250. The grant match is for, what was that grant for, Connie? It was, everything's running together right now. It's some kind of tourism grant.
Is it on the?
It's in the back. Okay, it's in there.
There's some chamber.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah,
Scope of
the-
services between, NC Development, Chamber of Commerce.
It's about 4 pages in there, the contract. I read over a little bit of it last night.
It's a tourism, cooperative marketing matching grant.
You have experience, you can't go down the truck and get something.
Yeah. It's a grant between the state of Tennessee Department of Tourism. So it goes into the scope to where the hotel motel tax can be used. It has to be used towards tourism.
The property loss is the soundtrack of America, made in Tennessee, Mark. The soundtrack of America, made in Tennessee.
That's probably that advertisement.
The license. That looks good.
Oh, yeah, she showed us that.
Yeah. There's a video, online too. I've not, well, I don't have.
It's pretty good. Cindy and I and Robert watched it. It's a pretty good video. That's the second time I've seen it actually.
And motion on that.
We can wait till Randall gets back, won't you?
Yeah, I guess we should. He's be back, he had to get something out of the truck real quick.
He's going to get you.
I can have her make a copy of this back. But she just got the top copy, didn't she? See if that's all of it. I don't know if that's all of it. Yeah, I need to see if that's all of it. What's your last page, Greg?
Oh, he needs 4 fingers.
It is 15.
So you need 16 dollars.
No, just one. She's the only one that didn't get the full copy. She just got the first page. Thank you,
Yeah,
Cindy.
so the total amount is 7,500.
But the change of hand,
We just got
the
the
portion of
match.
ours is just the match.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see the breakdown,
Okay. It's 20,
2250, yeah.
yeah, it's 22. Total project's 9,700. Soundtrack of America, made in Tennessee, trademark.
So our part's 2250.
Yeah, and we can use the reserve funds. Yeah.
Ran there.
I went to get my
What we go on?
original agenda,
Yeah.
but Cindy brought one in there and Taylor was a copy because I was getting to go get one made for Geraldine.
I didn't realize. that
Oh, I had that before.
Dad, I was that's the one we worked off of last night.
She's got.
She's got you one right there. This is the heads on the bridge. If you will.
Thank you, ma'am.
And then James got the, bids to look over back, make sure
Yeah,
everything's
so we had 4 bids on it.
Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it?
On that bridge, yeah. Did Jones come in the cheapest now?
Yeah.
1.9,
On your total.
901, whatever that's like.
So we have on the table the grant, using the hotel motel funds, the amount of $2,250, for the match of the grant for the tourism grant they had. We need a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Geraldine makes a motion, I have a second.
Wait,
Lady seconds, and I need to do a roll call. Geraldine Walker,
Yes.
Randall Boswell,
yes.
Greg Nivens,
Yes.
Lee Rick,
Yes.
all 4. All right, let's see. We have now going into the, is it tax levy resolution or what we need to go into next?
Probably want to look at everything before.
Yeah, we need to go
Different
into,
options. And we'll get everything out of the packet. Then we'll start there.
before we get into everybody's budgets and things like
That's
that.
all this one take.
Ma'am.
Thank you.
Chicken scratch.
Yeah.
And then you can-
It's everybody's.
You need me to get and put stuff places.
No, not right now. We probably need to also,
Yeah, hand them out too. This is everybody's everything.
this is the general fund.
Which one we going on first?
We can go over this one and then the detail and then make sure we make a decision.
Okay. We're gonna scope over the first page, it looks like this. And then we're going to put it off to the side, get into details, and then we can go back to it. I'll let Tony walk us through it.
Okay, so on the first page, this is a portion of the tax levy resolution. And there's, well, I wasn't sure which way y'all would go with it, so I did it in 2 different formats. The first one is, you can see the value of the gross and net penny. Those went up a little from last year, but, What this budget as a whole is looking at is doing a property tax increase. And if the proposed tax rate goes to 2.62, then we will look at the details of the budget to see what that will cover.
Does this page reflect that raise?
It's on the next check,
It's on the next page?
yeah, of the 2.62.
Okay.
Okay, so if you go on to the next page,
Page 3,
well,
or
I'm on page 2.
page 2, sorry.
That's okay. Page 2 is, the resolution fixing the tax levy compared to last year. You can see the numbers there. Cindy, do you have a copy?
No, I don't.
Okay. Somebody,
Yeah, I don't have- it's over there. Yeah.
okay, so 23, 24, the tax rate is 1.9786, with the general fund getting 1.3441. Go page 2. Page 2.
Your page 2, is our page 3,
Page 2 is our page 3.
Okay.
so we need to go page 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Nowhere you can see 23, 24. How about that?
I thought our
That's
number,
my page 1.
They all say page 1,
go to the last, go to the last.
but it's the second page. No,
Should be back.
no, second page.
It should look like this right here, guys.
Yours be third page too, like mine. Connie's is second page, yours right there, mine's your region page.
Mine's the 4th page then.
There should be 2 different ones like this.
You got 4, I don't got 3.
On top, it should say resolution 24, or 2024, 0624-02.
Yep,
She made that a little extra. So 23, 24, the tax rate was 1.9706. Everybody see that? Okay. 24, 25, you're looking at, if y'all approve this budget, the tax rate going to 2.6208. That's on the far right.
okay.
In the middle, you'll see that there's a section that y'all will have to make a decision on whether the highway fund gets an additional 5 cents of property tax. Right now, they get 0.085. And so they're looking at, seeing if the county can afford to give them, the 13.50.
The 5%,
5 cents.
5 cents
pennies.
to, that's to, for the raises that he's wanting to do. But if we're gonna do, across the board, why don't we just stick with it?
Across the board.
If we're doing across the board raises for everybody, won't that include the counties?
No, they're their own thing.
Yeah,
The
but
highway
they're also,
department's
but they're
their
a
own.
county employee though,
So is the schools.
yeah.
The schools do their own thing, they do their own thing. So here's what I was trying to explain yesterday.
Yeah, I got lost in that whole mix up.
So their starting pay is 19 and a half,
18.
18 and a half, 18 and a half.
What is ours for,
For the deputies, it's 16. For the ambulance service, it's,
Let's see, it depends on what.
just started, the EMTs get a certain amount and the paramedics get a certain amount.
new hires?
I think the EMT is 14.50.
The EMT 1450 and the paramedics is 16 or 15,
16.
$16.
I've got, I'm not sure that,
Yeah, it's 16. So
And his-
they're already $3.50 or $2.50, $2 below what they make over there. They make over there, James said whether we give them it or not, they're getting $1 raise, so it's gonna take them to $19.50. Well, we're down to $16 to $13, and they're getting 80% of family insurance paid for, and we can't afford that over here.
Yeah,
They're their own thing. We give them 8.5 cents now that helps pay for their 80% of family insurance.
Yeah.
Okay, we looked into it last year, what it would cost to go apply more towards benefits. We couldn't do it. They can, that's their thing, good for them, but we can't do that. See, they're already getting more, and they can give raises throughout the year anytime they want. They get all this other tax money coming in towards them that we don't see, we don't get, or anything like that. That's how they give their raises, their pay, and things like that.
So
That's the reason why I was trying to separate it out, Lee.
more feasible for us to leave it at 2.62 or wait then.
That's what I was trying to explain.
I just kinda got lost there and, but I thought they were all tied in with the.
I wasn't trying to single anybody out.
Yeah, I knew that.
I'm just trying to be fair.
Yeah, no, that's all good, I understand.
Because we're so far down on ours, and they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
And if, I'm not trying to single anybody out, okay? I'm just trying to be fair to the ones that's went to school, went through their training and done their thing. They've been underpaid for a long time. And we're
Yeah,
gonna have to pay them,
I agree.
or we're not gonna have.
All our
a-
emergency management's been underpaid, that's,
That's those construction workers too.
yeah.
You
That's
go
one thing
anywhere,
about James.
Yeah.
do the same construction's out there, you're gonna get a higher pay than you go to somewhere else that you get here for paving and doing the same stuff.
They're doing pretty good, if that's what they're,
James helped them with that.
see, I didn't understand that. I thought they was
Let Connie explain her little thing. Or, sorry, not little thing.
That's okay.
I just didn't realize that there was their own, I'm sorry. That's where I got lost in it.
Okay, so they have their own tax ID number, and they do operate under, the highway laws. But they are in the 1957 Purchasing Act with the county. So that's where we feel tied, to them a lot. The other thing is, they cannot afford a $3 raise without the help of the county. They can the dollar. He said he could handle the dollar, but when I looked at his fund balance, and I have a copy of that, they can't afford the $3.
So, but can we afford to give them that extra,
That's what y'all will decide.
that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, and that's what y'all will, look at everything and decide. You wanna look at this now?
Yeah, we can. And so, I'm gonna look like a turd any way it comes out,
Will you take one
it's just-
pass around?
It's just the way it is. We can't give everybody what they want.
Yeah, but you gotta at least
We gotta try.
give everybody the same, though.
Please, take one and pass it down.
I mean, okay, it's not any different like in Victoria's office, she gives raises, they allowed that.
I think
Well, no, that
That came
was,
out of their special
that
tax,
was bonus.
You're talking about pulling out their money,
but
too.
it wasn't pulling out ours.
We wasn't pulling that back.
It wasn't pulling out
Yeah, but we're gonna
ours.
give them $3 a raise, or whatever the raise is, the same as
no,
everybody else.
they're not.
Not Victoria's office.
They didn't get
Yeah.
it through us. They got it through
He's talking
the.
about.
I'm talking about if we do the raise across the board.
But,
That's apples to
Across the
apples.
board.
but across the board doesn't include, them out there
And it don't include the school.
or the school, because they're, like you said, separate entities, so. They're not in, they do their own, the elected school does, that's right.
Well, they got their own board.
What,
We're the highways board.
We do the schools too.
But we're just approve their budget or disapprove their budget, but if we give them,
We can't tell them what they can and can't do.
yeah, but. if
We can't
I
tell
think,
any
I
office.
think what Greg was trying to say was, if y'all give a $3 raise across the board, in Victoria's office, those employees get the $3.
Yeah,
Whereas,
But, I mean, they should.
Peggy's office.
well, if
the
we do it
care-
across the board, everybody should get it, yeah.
Why shouldn't the road?
Well, they're their own entity.
They're the county employees.
No, but
Yes,
they do their own.
They are employees of the county, the school's employees of the county. What I was trying to say is, their pay has been increased over and over and over with James. We don't say whether they can or
We
can't.
gave a raise.
They've been
About a dollar
redone.
I
raise.
got a raise every
I got
year.
how much?
They
About a
get-
dollar,
Raise
That's last year.
Year.
1%. And then
1%.
we did a $2, and then we did nothing for a year.
And we didn't give anything to them throughout the years on top of it?
That too, when we did the $2 an hour last
Is that
year,
what you're
or-
talking
Yeah.
about? Yeah, now, we used to give them 10 cents, and then with the value of the penny going up, we got to reduce that number, you know, the
It's a
penny.
maintenance.
so, but when we did the $2 an hour thing, didn't they take part in that?
They did, they also got $2, but they paid
But
it out of the.
not from the county.
They
Not
paid
from
it
our-
out of
our-
their
Not from our
gas
money.
tax. They paid for it out of their gas tax.
Oh, okay, so he went and did it.
Out of his
Yeah,
budget.
we processed their payroll.
Sync with us.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
he did. Okay,
Yeah,
so,
because we're trying to improve morale out of it.
yeah. Well,
It hadn't came out of this. We're having to raise taxes. But where I'm looking at is how high can we say this? When I went to Farm Bureau, they said, how many farmers are you gonna put out of business this year? You know what I mean? You're looking at 65 cents or 70 cents.
yeah,
And I don't like getting asked how many farmers are you gonna put out of business. It's hard, but like I said, I'm gonna look like a shiny turd to everybody, because they're gonna get mad at who? It's me.
well.
And I'm gonna get
commission-
calls, mad,
I've already had a million phone calls.
and if I tell one certain people no, then they're not mad at you, they're mad at me.
It's, well, you gotta
But
do
that's
what
all
you
right,
gotta do.
that's what I'm here for. I can't be afraid to say, no, we can't do that. But that's what I was trying to say is, if they're gonna be at 1950 and we're at 16 with our police officers,
Yeah,
and they get good benefits,
I understand what you're saying, I do.
I'm just trying to bring ours up
Yeah,
to where they
Can I ask a
need that.
question? On Victoria, is she giving hers a raise this year also, out of that money?
It would be every county office, like, it would be, we can't just single out one office.
No,
No.
no, she's talking
I'm talking
about,
about
she's talking about
she
the bonus
did
money.
a $250 bonus.
No,
The
no,
three-
no, no,
the
no.
$3
$250?
It wasn't a bonus.
The $3
Yeah,
tax
she
fee
give them all a bonus
all
out
goes to
of,
her office to do whatever she
Right.
wants to.
That's what I'm talking
It-
about.
We have no say over it.
So she's,
that's what she
And
wanted
she's
to do
giving
with it.
two bonuses a
Give-
year, one in the
250
spring,
or
one in the
350.
fall.
Listen, it ain't a bonus.
Well, that's what she
It's a
said.
No,
salary
it's a
supplement.
salary supplement.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It's not a used car, it's previously owned.
There you go.
There you go. But I mean, that's money that the state gives her for title.
That's the tax,
And I don't agree that
the state put
the
in.
one office
Yeah.
having written on it.
Yeah, that's,
so
But
this
that's-
would include.
that's something that's
Victoria.
approved. That's something that the commission approves every time
yeah.
before she does it.
Because I have to take it out of the reserve.
They have to take it out of the reserve. But it's, that tax is for that office, no matter if it's Victoria or Jane Doe, it's for that office to use as they need. And that's, can be used towards salary supplements, or it can be used towards part-time help, it can be used towards full-time or equipment.
Anything to do with processing tiles.
Anything that has to do with processing times.
So the 2.62 would include Victoria with a $3 raise,
It would include every,
but not the
It's
highway.
not fair to.
Every county
office.
Okay.
Give them a raise.
I got you.
But not the highway and not
They
the
got
school.
that, they got that approved through legislation on that.
it wouldn't include the highway or schools. It would just include the county.
This one,
And before we get into that one, this here, what I have is a print off of what every county gives their highway department. And y'all don't have it, but I can make you a copy.
here's one, if you want to look at it.
And under the highway, if you look at surrounding counties, Clay County gives nothing to the highway department. Let's see. DeKalb County, it's kind of close, they give 7.2 cents. Fentress County gives 1.4 cents. No.
We don't have it.
They don't give anything, I'm sorry, I misread that.
That's all right.
DeKalb County gives 3.2 cents. I'm sorry, I read the wrong one. Fentress County doesn't give anything. I'm just trying to look at some of the close ones. Macon County gives 9.6.
A percent of their tax rate too.
Yeah, we give 8.5 cents. Pickett County doesn't give anything. Warren County, gives 6.7 cents. Van Buren County gives nothing. White County, right there, they don't give nothing. That's what I'm saying. There's not, the only ones that you see giving 13.5 cents would be cities.
One thing is with the highway department, we do have a maintenance of effort. So if you give them that money, you would be required to give them that every year.
Yeah, you can't take it back. Once you give it to them, it's
How did we
free.
drop down to?
The value of the penny,
It's
getting the equal dollar.
equal dollar amount. Like if our value of our penny went up,
Yeah, just like with the schools.
that is the example that I wanted to show you. It ain't that we have to follow any other county's lead. It's that,
So probably our biggest complaint as a commissioner we get is roads.
Is what?
Roads.
Oh, yeah.
but none of this money will be going towards roads.
Well, it will be if they give the raise and take it out of the other part. It will be. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah, $220,000.
That's
Collection.
That's a lot of paving. I'm just trying to be fair to all.
That's what it was last election. Yeah.
And
So
it's hard for me
you're
to,
saying,
it's just hard for me to,
are you saying we should give them that extra? Or no?
well, I just think everybody needs to be treated the same.
That's where I'm trying to bring ours up.
Yeah.
Because I know they need to be
Theirs
treated
needs
the same, but
theirs
theirs
needs
is
brought
up.
up too.
Theirs have been being brought up over the years
They're,
where ours hasn't.
They're $2 or $3 an hour higher.
That's why we need a desk audit on all these positions. We need to go back through, we can give a little bit, but to get the salaries up where they need to be, we need to do an actual desk audit on all the positions and see what each position it calls for. If your job description meets that, here's your job description, what percentage are you doing this, and this, and this. If it don't meet it,
Do a salary study.
but it needs, that's the only way you can honestly be fair.
You do that, you're gonna lower a bunch of them down over there.
Maybe not. Probably when you get
Majority
one
of
back,
them.
it'll probably be scary how far below the record we are, because those are construction type jobs over at the highway
They
department.
are, yeah. I agree
And then
with
you've
that.
got specialized people at ambulance service too, that the paramedics are way underpaid. And you look at, compared to what we're paying the sheriff's department, compared to what's on the federal wage rates for those.
But if we go to the 2.6 rate across the board for that county, then we can afford to give him that.
You
No,
had to
we
go
go
to
2.7.
2.67.
Well,
2.67.
2.67,
yeah, 2.67.
that would include, yes,
That would increase it enough to
yes.
compensate what he's wanting to do out there.
I don't know, it's just a matter of.
If he's running that, but how much of a raise is he gonna wanna give his guys? You know, you got a guy out there driving a truck making more than a guy that went to school, and you can ask, Brother Ray if he's still here.
He just stepped in.
You know, ask Chris, I mean, it's real inexperience to go through that school and takes a lot to learn, you know, and you're paying them guys out here pushing a shovel around $2 an hour more an hour than you're paying a police
It's a two-year
officer.
program
You know,
for a paramedic.
well, still,
I mean,
It's on top of a 2-year program for EMT basic and.
yeah, but still, you know,
You're talking
they're,
4 or 5 years.
me, law enforcement, you know, if anything, I think we gotta give it to the EMT side of the, you know,
That's where, because they're
law
so
enforcement side of
far,
the,
we're so far off the scale on that. And even in my office, bookkeeper position, when we was trying to interview, we interviewed like 4 or 5. And I was like, well, what are you getting paid now to do the bookkeeping position? And they're making 20. And I'm like, well, we're getting paid $6 less an hour and I can't do it. And they just get up and walk out.
if everybody is, you know, on board with raising it up that much, then it needs to go equally to everybody, not just,
You talking teachers too, or?
well,
Because when we
everybody
give
that's-
it, we can't take it back.
Well, I know that.
We don't control the teachers.
We don't control the teachers' rights.
That's state controls.
Well, that's right. Well, they're going up tremendously
We
anyway.
don't, we don't.
Yeah,
But I've
That's
already
true.
checked with them.
so if we're gonna get on board with everybody else, then, you know, we just have to do what we have to
Are we
do.
gonna start paying 80% of family insurance for our employees, same as they do?
Well, can't do that.
Cross that bridge again.
Well, I
Not
mean,
right now, I mean, but, you know,
that's why I'm just trying to be fair
that's an
across the board.
incentive, that's an incentive that we could do in lieu of a raise, you know, pay more.
That's what happened at the highway department
Yeah.
years ago. That's what they
reasonable.
gave with it.
Yeah,
They
that's,
gave
I
them.
think Ernest,
That's why
I think
they're
Ernest done that.
theirs were down because they paid more. Now they're demanding more to come back up. But they was given 80% of health insurance besides the raises
Let me,
to entice them, and now they're wanting those raises.
What do you think?
can I ask a stupid question?
There is no stupid question.
James said he was gonna give $1 for what we gave him.
So,
If I whether ours get anything up, and I think I got $1 last year too.
Okay.
And, I mean, you know, I'm like, you know, I think the positions that has to be like a paramedic, deputy, EMT, something, is a higher risk job.
Oh, yeah.
No truck driver makes enough money to put up with what they put up with. I drove one for 45 years, I
I
know.
did myself.
And, and there is risk for the highway department, boys, patches and stuff, you know. But if James is gonna give them $1, this is where I was coming to. What would it cost us
give them two.
to give them two, you know, how many pennies, how much,
Yeah.
and then that would, everybody would get the $3 across, you know. If James is gonna give them one regardless,
It'd still be 3 or 4 cents.
and I mean, you know,
And do the tax rate of 2.67?
well, whatever it would be, to give
Still be
them,
going
give
up.
them enough for the $2 raise instead of 3, but James is gonna give them $1.
Yeah, and that.
$1's gonna cost you 60,000, no, $1 costs you 60,000, so $2 costs you 120,000.
120,000, so that's 4 to 16, that's 3.5 cents, say 4 cents.
It'd be a third of what just do a third of what the
No, it's
increase
bigger.
would be.
No, not a third, because it's,
Well, if it's $2, $2 is still 3.
It'd be 2 thirds.
Yeah.
But it would
Take a
work.
third
it would
off,
work
take a third
anyway.
off.
yeah, that's what I was trying to think.
That's why I married a CPA.
Yes, I see.
Then,
It'd be, what, 4,
Right there.
how much is it?
I can go and do the actual
You want
calculation.
my phone? But I'm, you
Even
know,
if you did that, you're still,
I'm saying, you know, that,
And what tax rate?
well, that would drop, that would give them 3 cents probably instead of 5.
At what tax rate you say?
So, well, you're taking 3 cents off of the 62,
Yeah, that'd be like 2.6.
so it'd be like,
2.65, raising the tax rate to 2.65,
instead of 2.67,
do it to 2.62.
it would be a couple cents less.
work.
Oh, that sounds,
So can I say something?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that is gonna have them making, starting out at 22, whatever.
$20-something an hour.
We're still gonna have.
We're still gonna be at 18,
They're gonna
19.
be starting out at,
People in public safety.
Mm-hmm, they're still gonna be a lot less.
That's it, that's if we give
That's-
them that extra, if we give the county that extra tax.
That's still,
We
they're
don't
gonna
have
be
to give,
making.
we don't have to give them that extra, do we?
but you can go all day long, construction workers pay more, I hate to say that, but I don't, that's good for them. Construction work pays more than,
We've lost
I
14
know.
total this year at the EMT.
$19 went to work for 26,
8 of them went to make $70,000 a year.
and that's sad.
And we can't pay $70,000 a year.
And you know,
but we just need to do enough to try to keep them retained and.
if a fellow ain't never had to have an ambulance, he don't know how valuable they are. When I read that wreck in 17, the first voice I heard was Robbie Shepard. He whispered in my ear and he said, "Randall, it's Robbie," and you hear it, nod your head. The next voice I heard was a nurse in the helicopter. Said, "Mr. Boswell, it's fixing to get rough. I'm fixing to land." I know nothing for about 5 hours. And hey, they got enough money that we can pay them guys.
No, I know, I
What they
agree.
do. And I mean, you know,
I've been in that field, I know.
if you've never used one of them, you don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
But now, when you there, and they got 5 liters of fluid off of my left lung, man, I was drowning in my own fluid. We hadn't had ambulance service we had. I would lay down on the side of the road now.
I got no qualms against
And
that.
let me ask you another
Any of
question.
that. I just think they're all underpaid, I do. They always have. thought.
We're kind of a non-profit type deal. We'll never make the money back because we try not to, charge as much to our citizens, right? Vulcan and Rogers Group and all that stuff, they're a for-profit. They can set their rates to pay their employees $100 an hour if they want to. Am I right?
You're right. And
See,
like I say, I know
we
a boy,
can't- we
I
can't
know a
do
boy
that.
that James lost that went to work for one of the local construction companies making that's $26 an hour.
But like I said, they're a for-profit, they make money, that's their business, is
Yeah.
to make money.
And we're not, we're a nonprofit. But that, where I was getting at, you know, these contracted service, ambulance services, I don't think they're as good as ones like we have private owned. I would hate to see ours go that way. But, I mean, you know, it's just, and the sheriff's department, I'm not gonna need, you know, unless somebody is bothering me on my property that they ain't got no business there, then sure, I got no, you know.
Unless
But now
somebody-
whoever's there gonna need him,
Right,
but, you know, but they don't get paid enough either to get out here. Pull, but just say if I don't get that I pull, Greg over. I don't know what Greg's gonna do when I walk up. I mean, how many days a week do you hear a law officer walked up the car and got shot or shot at?
More so than you used to, right?
I see up more so now.
And, I mean, that's worth more to me,
Well, they all do
you
a
know.
good job.
But now, the boys at the highway department, they have dangerous work too. One of the tractors got run over here a year or two ago, mowing the yard, right away, car run over. And the boys, you know, but, so I mean, you know, you got, if we go compare apples to apples,
We just need to, we're trying to be fair to
How
everybody.
can we do it to compensate our EMT, everybody, just, if we get them all at one?
Well, you've got people living in poverty that works for the county.
Yeah, I know, well, you've got people living in poverty, work for the sheriff's department,
Right.
and the EMTs too, you
We've
know.
got people on 10 tier, we've got people that don't even get a paycheck because they can't afford
They
their
get
insurance.
dollars around here, what,
I'm
30
gonna
cents?
pay, like the devil's advocate here again. So we got people living in poverty all in this county, and we're gonna try to raise their taxes almost 70 cents. I mean, we are gonna get shot.
We're trying to survive all the way around, and I understand that.
One thing I want to remind everybody is how our salary schedule is structured, where, let's say you start out as a corrections officer, and you have those different levels that you can move up. And then you become a deputy sergeant. So there's opportunities, I mean, the way the salary is structured so that, that they're not limited if they want to take on more responsibility and learn more skill.
Can do that.
Yeah.
And probably 2 years ago, we gave the $2 raise.
Now, that's another thing we're having to raise the high for, because we
There
didn't,
was the money there to take care of the next, from then on. But we didn't raise the starting pay.
Yeah.
We just, and this, with this $3, we're raising the starting pay $3 too. And that makes, if you start tomorrow, you're going to be up $3 more than you would if you started yesterday.
We're always gonna have people living in poverty,
yeah, that's true.
so, but, we need, the county needs to survive and figure out,
Well, I calculated my taxes on my 24 acres. And they're gonna go up right at $600. But, that's, it's gonna be hard to come up. I dropped $715 a month social security.
that's a couple, that's
You
a
know.
couple dinners at a restaurant
And-
somewhere.
Yeah, but
This
if
day.
you laying in on the side of the road, a
Yeah,
dime, I want to know, we've got a good
me too.
paramedic to come in to work on
Somebody's
it.
kicking in my door, I want a good officer there in just a
And
few
that's
minutes.
Cause you go, they marry him on, you'll need.
Yeah, exactly.
And don't get clerical because you want to make sure you get paid.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Well, look on the inside too.
That's why I'm saying, I hate a 1% raise,
I'm
That's the
not,
fairest.
I'm not
No,
putting
they do
down
3%.
anybody that we
Well,
have.
yeah, I mean, we're percentage
Well,
raises,
that's
we're percentage raises.
If, I'm not trying to put down anybody that we have, but if we offer, more to like police and things like that, then we will entice the, officers that's coming that's already trained versus the ones that we have to train them and then somebody else steals the good ones. And we're not having to hire ones that, that we don't need. And then we're not getting lawsuits that we shouldn't have. Does that make sense? Like I said, I'm not putting down anybody that we have now, but,
What you're saying is we shouldn't give them a raise? Or
no.
We should raise them.
Yes.
That's my point exactly.
The city's paying.
I've argued that for the last 7 years.
We are.
I got served again
We're
They've
yesterday.
been underpaid.
Yens don't know
We're
this,
getting
but I
another
got served again yesterday. So we have another lawsuit.
That's already been right at $5 an hour higher in the city than the county is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've lost 2 officers right now to the city.
City's got some good officers, got a good
City-
thing going over there, always has that.
They got a couple of our real good officers.
We're talking about increasing.
We're talking about increases though.
I was just trying to keep it, what Randy said makes sense. We could get it, the amount minus what James has already got flagged, everybody could go across the road.
But
If y'all look at this, it'll show you the different scenarios with
That's,
This one here,
the one with the bold.
Lord, I had it, hang on. No, I didn't get that. This is right in there.
Okay, so, what this one shows is the audit numbers, estimate, and then the other three columns show the highway department, if their budget, if they do not get a raise or do not get extra pennies.
Where they at? Okay.
The next one shows they get a raise with no extra pennies, and the other one shows
We need to share this one.
raise with extra pennies. And that's the 5 cents, the additional 5 cents in the right-hand column. If you look at the last page, page 6, you can see the different effects that it has on the fund balance in those two situations. So, where he said he could probably afford $1, he might could, but there's no way he could afford anything else.
No, put it on this.
Because
His fund
their fund balance is usually at
At
a
the, no, I mean, at what rate?
did it 3 different ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one doesn't have the raise in it,
Yeah,
and the second one does with them on their own, and then the third one has the raise and with us giving the extra 5 cents.
So the middle column, it's got the dollar raise, is that what you're saying?
No,
That has them giving a $3 raise on their own.
right,
yeah.
They ain't got the dollar.
right.
This is just the highway.
Yes,
Okay.
because I didn't have any of that information at the time, but I just wanted y'all to see the facts.
This is
That's-
What do you think's in there?
So our fund balance would be,
$3, yes.
The fund balance would be, and then on their own, the fund balance would be 356,000. I mean, that's no way, that's not,
Yeah, it's not feasible.
Well, the $2 would be higher.
How
I
much,
just wanted y'all to
how
see
many
that.
raises have they got in the last couple of years, or the last few years? Like, how far have they came up?
so the first one's no raise.
Well,
right?
James said when he come, they made $12 an hour
So they've been brought up from $12 to $18.50.
at about $1.
356 is what they would have.
Yeah.
356 is what they would have if they done the whole
Sometimes it was
$3 out
50
there.
cents, sometimes it was $1. But it averaged
That's
out.
a drop of almost
Gallon of milk's been up
300,000
how much in 8 years?
if they didn't do anything.
It's double.
And if they do,
Properties,
it's,
houses.
it'll drop to what? 100,000.
250, so
Yeah, you're right.
close to 500,000.
So anyway, I just,
But, you know,
So what do we wanna do then?
no, I'm just letting y'all know
We're
that,
just looking at
so you can have that and make your decisions.
Yeah.
You don't.
Okay.
I mean, that's comparing. And, you know, I mean, nobody will know after the election who the new road superintendent's gonna be.
So if they,
But
if they
they're
don't,
inheriting a bunch of junk. I mean, most of those trucks
Yeah.
we bought under Joe 20 years ago, there's a couple new Peterbilt dump trucks, it's 5, 6 years old. Because their equipment wore out. I mean, they've got to have some equipment somewhere now, and I don't know how, you're gonna have to think about that too.
Does the state give grants for equipment?
Not that I know
We've never gotten any.
of.
Have we gotten any or went after any? or
Yes,
We
yes.
went
I
after.
know James has bought a few used pieces of equipment as long as he's had the money, but all of them did. And you remember, you were
Transferred
here.
one from a county, didn't we? Or
Yeah,
another county.
from another county. You remember here several years ago, when, well, I
They'd be
guess it was
better
when
off they
Joe
didn't
bought,
give a
when
raise.
Joe bought the truck,
this year,
the county paid
They'd be better off if they
60%,
didn't give
and the
a
highway
raise.
department paid
40 to
40%.
their
You know,
fund
we borrowed the money.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Cause I know
That's
you
why
were
y'all need
here
to know
then,
how much we're helping
and,
or not.
you know, I mean, we may have to do something like that again further down the road, because
I just got us out of debt.
I know, and I appreciate you for doing that. And I'm glad you did, because
Oh,
everything we've got to go
Well,
around all
you
over
must
again.
dye your hair, cause it's sure to be gray after all the stuff you've had to go through.
But
The root spray, you know?
I don't think so.
You want to look at this now?
Yeah, that's,
What page?
Okay, this
this
is
is from your bag.
revenue estimate and appropriation requests. No, no,
Not the legal, that's short.
well, listen, you may not have this little one, do they?
Yeah,
It's got all of it on the top page.
Mm-hmm.
We starting on the first page?
Yeah. This will be the general fund.
Okay. So, we have this is the general fund budget, and then this big legal size is, it will show you the differences for the line item, each line item. So we can go over it either which way you want to.
This one here?
Yeah, no, this one.
Oh, all right, there it is. Okay. Sorry.
So, first of all, on the general fund, the first column you see has the word audit. Those numbers have been compared to the audit and corrected, updated, and it matches the audit. And so, let's go to, let's see what page it's on now.
How far back you want?
On page 30,
Are they numbered? Okay.
on the right-hand corner, up in the
Yeah,
upper
that's it.
right-hand corner. What that shows you is where you're starting off your fund balance. When you get there on page 30, you'll see, $7,853,938.
Page 3.
Yeah, I'll let everybody get that. Okay,
30.
all right, so that first column, you'll see 7,853,938. Yeah. Okay, so that just shows you that that's where we started. The next column is the original budget that we passed back in June. The next column is any amendments that we've made and how it's affected that budget. And then the next one is the one that is still changing because we're still spending money and taking in revenue.
The request, right?
And then under request is what the department requested or what I estimated, if it was on our revenues. So,
And then that leaves us a balance of what?
okay, so this includes the $3 across the board in the general fund, okay? This budget does. And if you go to page 30, that would leave your ending fund balance at the end of next year to be $4,733,909. Now, below that is the revenue that I have not posted yet for May, but that's just to give you an idea of where you would be at.
780,000,
Mhm. That's added to the 4.7.
yeah.
So,
Gonna be 5.
so,
54.
we were talking about needing 3 to 6 months of expenses, and we would need it. We generally try to, it used to be 3.5, moved up to 3.7, now our, target is 4.2. 4.2 is what we need, to keep in our fund balance, and that is so that we can operate until we start getting our property tax in October.
Okay.
We're required to keep between 3 and 6 months.
Yeah.
We can't ever get to 6 months because it would cost so much.
How did the taxes collect this year?
Good.
That brings us to 55,13,909.
What?
If you
Okay.
add the 780, it brings us 55,13,909.
Okay?
Remember, we
So-
used to, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. The problem is, we've already collected the majority, you know, through February of the property tax, but we still have payroll and all that to keep spending out of that for this year. So that 5.5 will not be 5.5, it will be less, because we're still operating,
It'll be down closer to 4 than it will.
yeah.
By the time we do
By the
it,
end
this
of
month.
first year.
So that's what really went into play when we tried to determine, if we had to have a tax increase, if so, how much, and what we could, operate on. Now, one thing that we haven't done as a budget committee is we haven't went through the line items and see if there's any places that we can cut.
That's what we're doing today.
Okay, before we get started, is there lawsuit money included in this?
Let me show you.
5.5?
Okay. I don't want everybody to get hung up or confused on that.
Hey, before we get into that, let's recess for
Okay,
5 minutes. Everybody take a potty break, okay?
yes.
Because I've got to go. We're gonna recess for 5 minutes.
Take a copy.
All that comes.
No, I've got like 4 cups somewhere. I gotta move.
That,
We're gonna take a recess.
That's in, okay.
because we'll be a budget member, but here's what we budget this year. This is where we start taking the hobby.
Now,
But it's just showing 5.5. Now, if it ain't gonna be that.
Where's James at? Are you yours?
I know, I've just asked him, is he still here?
Yeah.
No, he told me
It's
to get
already
his parents
in.
down, and I said that I would
It's
take
nothing
it
hard.
there.
I know. We need to move. I said we'd leave it at.
Eating another burger?
Connie, have you got a blood pressure cuff yet?
Same one.
Think your blood pressure's getting jacked?
You done eat that whole
You want to
plate of barbecue?
drink?
He had about 3-4 burgers.
Yeah, you inhaled that.
I just ate
You done eat
meat.
that whole
Hey,
plate?
he would have been like me, I would just eat, I might eat one bun, one burger, but I would eat,
I just
I
ate
don't
the
eat
meat.
bread.
You quit eating bread?
I don't eat my,
This is my first one.
I quit eating bread.
I eat,
I just put it down for the minute.
I eat, that honey wheat bread
Yeah.
every morning.
The
I don't
only-
eat no biscuits,
The only
no
bad thing
cornbread.
about our breads that we buy in a store, that stuff's got so many doggone preservatives in it.
Well,
It'll
hey,
label-
you know that wheat bread that you would think it does, but if you don't eat a loaf of wheat bread in 3 or 4 days, that sucker start molding. I've got a lot of it
mold.
that, you know.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Well, regular
if you
bread
don't-
will.
If you don't eat it,
Regular bread
It will.
that like overseas where they cook it
Oh, yeah.
and you go to the bread market there, then that's not bad. They don't carry the preservatives this stuff does to
No.
sit on the shelf.
no. And I mean, that's
Plain
like
old
everything you go to the store and buy.
Plain old, oh, everything,
I mean, look,
Everything.
yeah, that's what I said, look how much preservatives it's got.
everything. If you don't,
Look at
if
your
you,
milk, how much formaldehyde
Exactly.
it's got in it. You know what formaldehyde is?
Formaldehyde?
Yeah, it's fucking bomb you.
yeah, I know.
You know,
That's, that, you know, you get Crisco, they used to cook chicken in. That Crisco and Diet Coke has got the same chemical compound formula as formaldehyde. They talked to us that's when I had organic, and they said, so when you go up there and you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get a Diet Coke to go with it, he said you're embalming yourself.
they say
Well, look at
that's
this.
a diet drink, because I don't drink no drink Hampton Jersey, but they say the diets are worse for you than the regular one.
Yeah.
Because a few years ago, when I would try to lose weight, I would drink that drink and I couldn't lose it.
It'll cripple you.
That's all I
And,
use.
I ain't no,
And that's got probably some preservatives in it.
Stevia,
That's truvia. That's
Yeah.
not, that's not
I-
true stevia.
I don't eat no sweets, no kind.
do you know, remember all the problems I was having bleeding and the loud stuff? When I quit using that, imitation sugar, that went away.
Erythritol and stevia. Is all we
Well,
use.
Don't
but-
eat none of it.
Well, see, I can't even eat honey. no ices or anything anymore.
Well,
And
you know
would
why?
think- You would
Everybody-
think the natural sugar wouldn't
It's not
be
that.
as bad on your diabetes, you know.
Now, Randall, if you got,
I can lick a spoon that's been in a honey pot.
but you know why?
Get lighted up.
Because these doggone bees are going to these, they're eating sugar out of pop bottles that's laying around, and they're eating sugar out of these hummingbird feeders.
Yeah.
You'll feed more to a honeybee than you will a hummingbird.
Yeah.
So then you sugar and you get molasses. Well, Dad used to feed them. I had some old honey I shouldn't have thrown away. Old honey that had been in there in the basement for 50 years. I'm not joking, 50 years. It was dark, but it
But
still
there's
hadn't
nothing
turned
wrong with
to, it still hadn't turned to sugar.
They was,
Honey won't,
pure honey will not turn to sugar.
But
Room.
But
when
now
you
this
feed
honey
the
that these
bees,
bees make today will turn to sugar because they eat too much out of pop cans and bird feeders. and-
when,
But now, when my uncle's house burnt 2 or 3 years ago, they was a barrel of honey in it that I know was 50-year-old.
yeah.
And it was still as good as it was today.
Now, Dad's was dark, and I put it to the side.
This was dark, but it was dark when it was put in there.
Yeah, well, it's wood honey. Most of the time, them wood bees were darker honey.
And he would feed a lot of it before he passed away, when he still had mules and stuff. He would pour that honey over his corn when he feed his mules every day.
his own sweet pea.
Dad had 10 stands there at the house when he died.
I gave my last one away the other day.
And
I got tired of losing money on them.
bees,
See this, Lee?
Down there at Copeland,
they died now.
horses. Derek, he got in a big business. Derek, Highland Mountain,
Copeland.
Tracy had death in the family, he had to run.
Copeland Brothers,
He has
they
people
are,
to die. I'm sorry.
Derek.
He's got a big family.
Oh, boy, Copeland. Listen,
Whenever one of you great grandmas had 11 kids, you can't.
Okay, yeah.
he got in the big business
He had to go
this
to
year.
Indiana.
And
I don't know, he was trying to call me and I didn't get the answer.
They're great people, they're people that hide the bees of it. If I'm getting them, I'll give them to him because I don't want to get overwhelmed. I bet I've lost 50 hives in the last 20 years since I moved there.
Oh,
It's on cell phone tires, or like, no, they just,
Insecticide.
they die. And they'll leave, and they won't come back. And then, of course, everybody sprays everything today. Light company sprays under, and there goes your golden rods and falls in there.
Then you got enough for them up there to pollinate
And, yeah, but I always sowed flowers and stuff, you know, for them.
I know when we was raising bees, we would stick a hive out in the middle of the bees.
Yeah.
And it would cause our soybeans to flourish.
I put a bunch of buckwheat up this time, and that thing's
Yeah,
covered.
that's good for bees. I was in Arkansas a few years back, and I saw signs that said local honey ahead. Well, we finally got to a little roadside stand there, you know, and we stopped. I got to talking with the guy, his name was Terry Murphy. It was the year that had the National Bee Association in Cook. And he said he was coming to it. And I asked him what bees had there to make honey with, because the melons were all gone. Because they're making that soybean. And I got a jar of his soybean honey, and it was really good.
It's good.
But I never thought about them making honey out of soybean.
In this one, there is, yeah, it's like the ones that are affected by property tax. So it is the general fund, solid waste, and highway.
Man, they get hay like that.
What does the school get out of her property tax?
They get it in the morning and come home first. And I don't responsibility, they think
I
money
didn't
to
know how
pay
many
you.
pennies they got.
Some of them were the best, but the other rain and rain.
Well, I think
I think they had to, because it was laying there the next day after it rained.
But because the increase in the penny,
That-
it is 44. So
Okay.
we'll say,
It's
that's
been
because
tough.
of the maintenance of that.
we'll just say 44.
Was Cindy, all right? Find
She
something.
said her blood pressure
Check her
was
blood
low.
pressure with?
Yeah, it was low. Well, it was 102/76.
Whose blood pressure's low?
Cindy.
Robin's?
Mhm.
She leave?
She's in the bathroom.
102/76. I ain't looking at that.
She's in our office, so.
Mine usually runs pretty low. You would think my blood pressure, you know, they're good guys out there.
You're sick?
She said they wanted before.
I thought she did. It was like a covenant.
To the shed.
Well, I may die of a heart attack in the next 5 minutes, or next 5 seconds. But thank the good Lord, I've never had no heart problems. No, it runs in our family like crazy.
Do you want to go over, when you do that, you can go over, that way y'all can, if there's, questions or anything, I mean, I can help you. I don't know if they want to go over, like, or everything on
We'll go major. We got to make the,
Oh, we'll talk about it again today.
Oh, he can.
Hey,
we need to make a decision today because it's gotta go in the paper this week.
Yeah, if y'all want to pass the budget, by June 24th,
that's a full cup.
I should say, my grandpa always asked for a half a cup of coffee.
And then he goes back and gets another half.
Well, no, he'll ask us to
keep
go
it
back
hot, I
and get.
guess.
It's keep it hot, yeah.
Oh, we
I
got,
ate some
have
of
y'all
it,
do it?
not
Yeah.
bad, I ate some, he brought one before, it's good.
So we got him a cup that was in half. It wouldn't stand.
Give me a hard time. And my granddad always get it, teacup like that. He got a saucer, he poured in a saucer and drank it out of the saucer. You ever seen that?
Oh, yeah, I used to drink my coffee out of saucer. I didn't go open.
That's why you used to do it, that cooled it up so I could drink it.
I poured out a cup into the saucer, let it cool and sit, drink it out of the saucer.
All right, guys, we'll get back at it here, while everybody eats, it'll be fine. We'll get your big packet here, we'll kind of go over it a little.
The long one.
Yeah,
This one here.
yeah, the long one.
This one?
Just like this right here.
8.5.
Yeah, the legal.
This one I got, this one.
Big packet there. Major line items is what we're gonna go over, the total local taxes. So if you go to the local taxes, the trustees, the payments, the litigation tax, all that added up, our estimate amount was 506,620. The budgeted amount's 10,617,937. It's
If y'all look in the,
What line number are we on?
you're gonna go to your major
4350.
lines. Your major lines there, before we're going down. The totals. It's got the lines on them, the dark lines.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, thank you.
This is when you add up all the taxes and,
Okay,
hotel motel, the litigation taxes, the beer privilege taxes and stuff like that. So the budgeted for compared to the 23-24 and the 24-25 is $3,037,780. If you go down to the license permits and, that, down to the next line item, if you go to the total there, the budget for this season is 47.5. That's a difference of 13,200 down. Why is that down, you know?
I don't think it's supposed to be down.
It ain't supposed to be down,
It's from
it's actually up.
32 to 47 is what we should, oh no, it's comparing budget to budget.
Budget to budget.
Yeah, it's comparing the second column with the fourth column.
The amended budget versus the actual budget. So the
Okay,
amended budget
that-
we had was 60,700,
Yeah,
and on our budget this time it's 47,500.
yeah, you just go on the budget part of it.
Just go down which side, just the regular
Yeah.
budget part.
And then we can see if there are any differences.
Okay,
Which is this third column,
it'd be the fourth column,
fourth column? Okay, yeah, all right, let's see.
that'd be the budget amount there. If you, go down to, a little over the middle, down to the next highlighted lines, budgeted amount was 83,824, which is down right at 5,000. The next one down here is, 1,500,200. No differences in that. Next page. That next highlighted line, total fees, there's 84,000, that's a $6,000 difference. That's fees and things like that. The next one, charges that we have, 1,675,355, that's another 6 difference. And, all right, then we go down to revenues, rentals, materials, sale of property, things like that, the local revenue. We've got it, 142, 130, that's 30,667 lower than last year. If you go down to the offices now, this is the receipt from the county officials. It's 1,057,100. That's 11,014 difference. You can look at those. These are grants and revenues that we have coming in. Page, if I can get it, page 5. The total state of Tennessee, it's 2,035,632. It's actually down almost 800,000.
It's, because of we got the SRO grant for 300,000 and,
The
there's some other grants that we
Yeah.
can get.
state grant, you can see where it's minus throughout those columns, ones that are taken off. This is the next the federal government, page 6. 3,397,961, which again, there's other grants that we didn't, that was applied last year, that won't be applied this year, so it's 378, 375 less. And then, the next is all revenue. Would be a total of 19,617, 939. And it's 1,548,163 difference.
Less is more.
More. And that's when you add up the contributions for the UCMC, the city library, the seniors, property assessor, the SROs, all that.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
That includes, 32,000 that's transferred in from the solid waste department on an annual basis. It also includes the 448,000. So I wanted to make sure that we're linking that in there.
Yes.
Which one?
448,000, It's right above the 19,617,000.
That's what we're transferring out of the fund, the capital.
It's on page 7.
Page 7, and it's what you said?
The 448,000 is a transfer in from Fund 151.
Which line, though? Which?
It's the one above
Next
where,
page.
it's on page 7 up to the top.
Okay,
If you look down there, it'll say transfer funds from 151 for land. That's where we're transferring out of the capital fund over to the general fund
okay.
until July.
Are you on page 7?
You're on page 7, up top.
Okay, go back on page 6, and that number's on the bottom of page 6, there, Greg.
That's what I,
Yeah, right there. There it was on, there it was on mine.
That's
Yeah,
different.
everybody's is different.
transfer
This is
fund.
transfers funds.
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
got the two
it's-
bottom lines on.
The 32 is
It's on page 6, yeah.
32 bottom lines.
Yeah, I see that.
The
Transfer from Fund
32,000 for solid
116.
waste.
Yeah,
So theirs is on a different page than theirs.
okay.
I'll print a different
Yeah.
one.
That's okay.
That we all have it next time.
That's kind of different.
There's-
That's weird,
yeah,
that's weird, man.
Transfer in
straight
from
out.
116, 32,000, I see that. Transfer from fund 116.
Y'all want me to leave the 448 in there, right?
Yes, that's we have to transfer it over to that until July.
In July we will.
In July, we'll
Yeah.
transfer it over.
That's for.
To cover,
That's the cover land.
That's the land
The land-
Tractor Supply. That's not related to the grant.
That was the
the
difference.
extra amount
So
for the land over here.
$450,000
Y'all just-
extra for 6 acres.
The 6 or 7, whatever it don't appraise for, what the health department.
I know we need county land, but I sure wasn't gonna vote for that
And that's,
extra.
that's
6
for,
acres.
that's what,
There.
that's where
So
I
he
was
was sold us the five,
He wouldn't have sold
those
it.
are not that pricey,
Yeah.
attractive. per acre.
Yeah.
He would want him
Both
for
of y'all are
800 and
out.
something thousand just for 5 acres. And that would have been less than he could have got for it.
So we got it.
We've got all of it for less than we could buy half of it.
So we've got,
I read that thing in the paper last night.
need to start getting paper.
it's
Okay.
down to the expenditures, county commission, the fees, state retirement, Medicare, medical insurance, membership dues and things, for the county commission. It's $171,598.
And one thing I need to point out is these raises that we're talking about for employees, it does not include county commissioners.
Yeah,
I didn't think it
we don't
did.
get $3 more in there.
No.
Be nice. but-
Can we have a court? Can I ask another silly question? I meant to ask it before we started.
We can't vote on ours anyway.
Okay. This lawsuit, our insurance did not cover our COs over there, liability. Because of our CO,
Corrections officer.
correction officers, our liability insurance did not cover them, where they were getting sued individually.
Yeah, so they dropped that.
No, that's the reason we settled for, what we did was to get them to drop that.
Yeah.
So, have we got any way to get insurance to cover them liability so that they don't happen to those employees whoever they might be that's working there? If there was to, if something happened again,
We can check with the
I
insurance.
meant to
It's when it
ask,
happens, not if. It's
I
when
meant to
it
ask you
will
last night and I forgot it. But, we wouldn't have had to settle for what we settled for if they would have had insurance to pay it.
happen. Yeah.
But
Because they were suing them all individually.
I think that ought to have been across the board insurance for
Well,
everybody.
I thought it was. I
Yeah.
thought every county employee was covered under the liability insurance.
Yeah, you'd think so.
I mean, the deputies and stuff, is was already insured.
we'll have to check
Well, I
into
didn't
that.
know when that lawsuit come in. And it just come back to me then when you talk about insurance and fees there. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
No, you're fine, you're fine. The, next is board of equalization, the committee membership fees. So this is the board of equalization, 3,000. The next one down, this will cover, office down to, the county executive's office, $396,749. The next is county attorney, 56. The elections commission covered all the way down to the election commission there, 262,086.
And so on that one, there'll be 2 elections.
Be 2 elections instead of
And
the
so
one.
there's an increase in the
There's,
election worker.
there's increase in your salary too, Steve, is that
Mine is the state, every county officials is through the state.
through the state?
Yeah.
Okay.
The state determines everybody's.
So you got an increase of,
Everybody did. Some years they change, some years they don't, but the state mandates that. The election commission will do that. The next one is register of deeds is 237,797.
which page are we in?
Well, on mine it's page 9.
Page 9,
The planning commission, that's membership fees and all that too, it's 20,948. Our maintenance county buildings, this is all county maintenance, repair services, things like that nature, is $4,726,059.
And y'all will see in there, we have the fairgrounds grant, the water
Yeah.
utility grant. And then,
Is that the fairground grant, what, maybe 592 more?
We have to spend it through our office.
Yeah, but that's what, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to ask you.
It's a reimbursable, if that's the way that
yes,
runs.
we'll pay for it and get reimbursed. Now, we have a match, but that match is being paid out of the American Rescue Plan Fund.
Yeah.
What's
The next, yeah, go ahead,
That
sorry.
part-time personnel, it doubled. Is that,
They just, it's
Under
Mitch
county
was working on Fridays, Mitch was working on Fridays, doing maintenance. Their pay didn't double, it's just the number of hours that they're budgeted for. I mean, their pay increased the same as everybody else's. There's just more hours for that person, because we're needing more
What page?
work done.
mine's
We're under
saying
county buildings. County
County buildings.
County for electricity, okay. 10,000 for natural gas, that's what we done last time.
Yeah. This is general administration.
448 for the land, right?
The general administration is $1,283,230. And that's got some down. Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Just let me get caught up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And on that next category, I haven't gotten all the information back from the insurance, so I had to estimate a lot of those numbers.
On liability insurance, stuff like that, it went up a
And
little.
2, I was waiting to see if the pay increases in the workers' comp percentage, that changes. But I should be getting that number soon. Okay.
Everybody ready for the next, and that would be, the records, it'd be 20,024. The accounting and budgeting, that'd be the finance office, that's 96,981. Then the property assessor's office, 323,861. And if I'm going too fast, everybody,
That's an increase there on the property assessor. Is that due to the new people coming in?
the property assessors,
45,839.
Let's make sure I didn't do anything wrong.
That's on hers, on the property assessor.
Oh, the pay,
Yeah, on the
Yeah, it's
farthest
under
column
total.
over there.
yeah, well, that's her, that's Kara's,
Some of that's
salary.
$3, but there's some more, there's gasoline, it's one of the
Oh,
little.
that 45,000, that's her salary,
Contracted services, it's not all.
No, mine's at 4,500.
right here, I'm talking about over here.
There's
So on the
little,
total property assessor's office,
Mhm.
is that an increase of 45,889, is that what that is?
let me get in here right quick.
Okay.
Some of that is her required pay.
It's everything down through here.
Look on the right-hand column.
Oh, yeah,
says
okay,
tax
all right.
billing.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
5,800.
It's reappraisal year, so since it's a reappraisal year, it costs.
Yeah.
That
I see where
increase
you were at
in
now.
costs.
I was looking on the page.
And Connie's gonna explain a little bit of
Oh,
something. Because this is something that I've not went through, and y'all have been through the reappraisal. So some of that is because of the reappraisal, or, yeah.
Yes. And Kara's real good about if it's reappraisal, it will go up, but then the next year she brings it right back down.
Who is?
Kara.
Kara, oh, yeah, okay.
So what we're entering into next year is what Kara told me, that the percentage that we have right now is what, 70, where are we at?
Was it 80?
Six,
No, it's lower than 70, or lower than 80.
Well, it went to 61, right?
61. We're at 61, meaning that the companies, the businesses, only has to pay 61% instead of 100. And the state will step in next year and make everything 100 across the board. So if the value, they look at the values of the house that they're set and the values that they're paying now, and they'll bring everything even across the board. They were trying through the state to bring it to an
So
every
they'll
2, 3,
increase
or
our
4 year
tax rate.
appraisal instead of a 4, 5, 6 year, to make it to where it ain't so big of a hit when you do every 5 years. So the state will step in and set ours next year. That's
Yeah,
it.
like, was it the last appraisal or the one before we dropped the tax rate? 10 or 12 cents. Was that 10 years old, or was it 5?
It dropped from 2.25 to 1.97, right?
Yeah, that was the last reappraisal. And then another year, we dropped it on the reappraisal year too.
But you're saying we don't do that, the state.
The
will
state
decide
next year will do it. Yeah,
Because they go out and assess the values.
yeah.
So just because, say, your house before was appraised at 100,000, now it's probably gonna be 300,000.
Whatever they say it is,
What
yeah.
they'll say, what the tax is gonna be on that, we won't do that next year, we won't set the tax rate.
And see, it'll be based on property that's sold around you. And all of them, both around me up there, John and Doc, they sold $5,500 an acre. Y'all can go with mine, with my barns and homes and all.
We still have to prove
And they'll
it.
give you the information.
I wish I
They'll
could
come
have
in and
them
try
dollar
to,
bills down.
they'll come in and try to
On this
zero
side,
everything
we're
out
not
across the
on
board as
St.
far
Clair
as
was, I'm like,
businesses
oh,
and residential and things like that. But Kara's pretty good at trying to keep that up throughout the 5 years.
10 years ago.
So it ain't such a big,
Carried up a good job.
yeah. So down to the trustee's office, 667, 619.
That's 267.
267.
What'd I say?
It's okay.
What page you
You
on?
said
What
67.
page you on?
11.
Little bit of
I jumped the page. I'm sorry.
dyslexia, I guess, came in effect there, I'm sorry.
We're on 52,400.
52,400, the county trustee's office, if you go down to their totals,
Okay, I see now.
267, 619. Got it better this time. Still have a little stutter.
It's okay.
Jimmy's doing a good job with that office.
Yeah,
The county clerk's office, 406,894.
That's the horse dealer. No, that's not. She still does. She gives me a hard time.
And then the, circuit court, 415,933.
I think we just received the information on the medical insurance that it was 1 to 2% increase. And at the time that I have put these numbers in, we were
Yeah,
expecting
what is
about an 8%.
So we got,
So I'll need to adjust that.
how much did it go up? 1%?
I think it's 1.2,
Okay.
a little over 1%, but it'll be effective in December.
Yeah. We'll have to
Does,
adjust
you
those
know-
rates.
rough ballpark of how many tags goes through Victoria's office? I mean, every time I'm here and come in, there's always one or two in her office, 90% of the time, usually one waiting between, with all these people moving in here, she's gonna sell more tags.
but you know, there's more tags sold than, we was talking about that last night. That has different mailing addresses, like out there in Monterey Highway, that's Monterey mailing address, and you're in
Overton Springs.
Overton County. Yeah, and they get a Butler County tag, a lot of them out there.
Well, half of Richmond is school, well, more than half of Richmond
Where I
is
used to
school
live.
address.
We are.
You're in that equivalent.
My house up
You got
above,
Butler County tags?
No, sir.
uh,
About 5 cents.
you know where the veterinarian is, my house up above the veterinarian is, school address.
That's all on the post office.
My friend said.
General
that-
session, oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry, that this is off the subject, but the way they raise their taxes in Macon County, this time they raised their wheel tax to $130 a vehicle.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
but see, if we raise our road tax, the way it's said, it all goes to school.
But there's.
No, you don't have to.
We've got
You
to
can
pass
add
it
on.
Yeah, we would have to change,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
would
I
have to
think theirs
change.
was going for a school
We'll
or
know.
a jail or
It'll
something.
go in a referendum.
It's a dollar, it's a dollar amount right now, or all $35 goes.
That's
So
what the
But
wood's
if
going
it
with
went
that.
to 55, it would, the extra 20 would go in the general fund.
If we say it that way, yeah.
Yeah, we would have to do it, we would have to amend that.
Then it'd have to go through a referendum to be
Yeah.
voted on.
We never did. Last time, remember, we collected $10 there for a while, it went in the general fund, and then they had all
So
the.
you remember, it was coming, all the wheel tax was coming into the general fund, and then we switched it to the school. It all goes into the
Not all of
school.
it.
No,
It's $25 was, and $10 wasn't. $10 went into the general fund. That was when Matt was in, and they were doing a building program, so we went ahead and agreed to put the other $10 to the school. So it's just
Yeah.
$35. So if you're
What is
doing,
it?
if you're doing a $55, we'd have to vote to put the extra $20
Yeah,
to
what-
the school.
or to where it.
No, we
Yeah, where
would
we
have,
want it.
we would have to put it where we
If
want
you,
it.
yeah, anywhere you want it.
Anything you add,
But,
that
And
added
you know
part
that
would go.
raise wheel tax,
Where's
they
this?
want it, they would want it.
well,
But I mean, you're right, we could put it, we would just have to, we
yeah,
would just have to.
we're only obligated to the 35 right now
This is what,
for maintenance of everything.
450,000,
Yeah, the
roughly,
Mm.
roughly four.
As long as they get the wheel tax, it's supposed to go directly
Yeah.
towards their buildings.
It has to go to the
And
building
if it, if
programs.
they
If it doesn't,
quit working on the building, then it goes away.
She said, I mean,
That's the reason why they hit us with a $14 million bond this time.
and my dad, when it first started wheel tax, he said that'll go on, and he said that'll never come off, and that was, Dad been dead 4 years.
it was $5 when it first went on, wasn't it? Or was it $2?
10. What, was it 5?
I was thinking it was 5 and then went to 10.
Yeah,
All right, guys,
Back in the 80s, it was-
sorry.
let's keep going where we get through this.
Oh, yeah.
General Sessions Court, their total is 217,
348.
348.
Okay.
General citizen.
That's General Sessions.
Drug court, 0.
Drug court's 252, 614.
And that's
That's
all,
all we're
all
doing.
grants.
All grant.
Everything.
Sensory court, it's 366, 926.
What made the increase on the chancery court
Let's see.
Salary.
Salaries,
salary?
Insurance.
Person.
data processing, insurance.
I didn't know if she needed some equipment or,
Social security, medical insurance went up,
yeah.
data processing went up.
Juvenile court, it's 34, 189.
Get some of that money.
District Attorney General, 8,431. Judicial Commissioners, 42,008.
How many have we got now? I know we approved some.
3 counting Brittany.
Yeah.
Got two back, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had
You have three total.
I know we used to have four, three back, didn't we?
It's, so
It's
they
working
can,
good that way.
I'll get some hours in, I guess. Next is Sheriff's Department. Theirs is down, but I think it's because of grants and things like
It's
that.
because the vehicles were, that I took the vehicles out of that and put it under that capital projects fund.
Yeah,
Theirs is 2,967,290.
then there were 2 weeks out, I mean.
That's the vehicles.
Are we,
That vehicles.
are we doing, we getting those vehicles every year? I thought we were.
Down to the special patrols, it's 75,680.
That's the winter contract with the state.
Is that Terry?
That's the grant. That's Donnie, Terry,
At Donnie and Terry?
and Mitch now in it. Would that be including Mitch too? We have to add Mitch over to it. Mitch is having it taken off of mine and added on to John's because the person that takes a prisoner out has to be considered a corrections officer or a police officer. So Mitch was taking the prisoners out for another crew under me. And so now he's gotta be considered a corrections officer. And he has to carry it done. That's, through state mandate.
You can drive the roads until he's not been out there in a few days.
He's not, he ran out of money out of his liver grant.
July?
Start back in July.
Talking about Mitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you can drive the roads until he ain't been out there on the road. I don't like to throw their trash out.
Then the next is the jail itself. It's 2,814,650. And it's down some
What made it sound so much?
I think there was a grant in that we had equipment grant or something that we don't have this time, it was the security.
Well, every one of these line items go down a little bit because of insurance claim, every one.
Yeah, what I budgeted currently was $8,100 for each individual, each employee. So I'll go back through every medical insurance line item and adjust it.
I need to take over.
Okay, the problem is, when I do that,
Yes.
last time they gave us a percentage,
No,
but then when we actually got the plans, they were different. And so, it's, until I see it, it makes it hard.
And we won't see it till December.
Right. Okay, so the jail was 2.8. Okay, now, fire prevention and control. This one we're gonna have to do a little differently. I mean, you can still do the same dollar amounts, and y'all can tell me what dollars to put there, but in the past, we had paid the insurance for the fire departments. Now, the fire marshal's saying that we cannot do that they have to do that on their own, because they are a nonprofit. So what we would have
Only
to,
building, trucks,
so what we would have to do is, I mean, if y'all still wanted to give to them, you just appropriate more and give it to them.
Give it to them for enough for their insurance.
We just have to put it in the
But-
nonprofit section, right?
Right,
Yeah.
but put a clause in there, they had to use it
for that.
for insurance, bring a copy of the insurance,
Yeah, they'll
to
have
put
to,
on file,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
that way then
they
we
still
know
need
the
to
money.
bid out,
But the VDOT's don't count, right? Or does it?
the ones that we bought,
Yeah. Are we insuring them, or we have to take?
we own them.
We own them, okay, so we're, that's,
They're still covered.
so we don't have to worry about that.
it's just medical.
So, okay, wait, you said,
Liability.
you said we own the vehicle.
Well,
They're in our
yeah,
name, but
they
that's
have
done.
250, they have
Yeah, but you,
250s.
so what about our other fire trucks?
No, that's.
We've got four besides that,
Yeah, that would be right here on vehicle and equipment insurance.
with insurance too. Okay, that's still we
It's
covered in
not
the county,
zero.
but it's gonna have to go to
They'll have to do it.
non-profit. Okay.
So on that, I felt like they should have to bid it out like we had to. But, because I won't know what that premium is. And so what I put 250 in the budget because the year before we budgeted 247,802.
Okay, well, can we have the Fire Chiefs Association
Two under our insurance.
to bid it for everybody and get one amount, it'd be all bid like they had all the fire departments bid under one group?
Yeah.
And then if we wanted to keep paying it, we give them the money, whatever the bid for the insurance is,
Yeah.
and that way we know every fire department's covered. Instead of
Oh,
every
yeah.
individual fire department doing it
Oh,
themselves.
no, yeah. we
What's
did-
the lapse period on it before they do that? Cause that's gonna take some time.
I'd say 30 days.
Let's see, I think they'll be covered through June. So.
Yeah,
they'll
but
be covered-
they won't know anything until July 1st. We don't have any money, so they can't actually start taking for bids, can they? So is there
They can
is it
get,
dead zone?
no, they can get the bids, we just wouldn't pay it until July 1.
Yeah, I'm talking about something happened between then. Is that
Okay.
okay?
They would be covered if it's 2 months before we got it done, out of July, if it was 1st September or 1st October, before they got everything bid out, they'd be covered under the insurance.
No.
I mean, that's what Greg's talking about, how much lap time, how much
Yeah.
time after July 1 have we got to get it
Well,
done?
I got with Tommy Stevens and had him contact the fire departments. So
We didn't get a
they're working
rate.
that out. I don't know if they're bidding.
So they know, they already know that,
Yes.
okay.
Yes,
Scott knows that.
yeah.
We told him.
I would say he's probably already.
Oh, yeah.
And he asked, Scott asked about the vehicles. And I told him the same thing you told me.
Okay, good.
I just assumed that.
Yeah.
Because, that comes to public safety now,
So I'm gonna leave it at 250. If we need to change it, you let me know.
If y'all, they just took Cindy over to the hospital, the ambulance. So if y'all will, let's say a quick prayer.
Good.
Heavenly Father, we just, ask you to be with Cindy and, at this time as they take her over to the hospital to get her checked out. We just ask you for help, Lord Father. Just put your spirit on her, Lord Father, just to help her get better. We ask you this in your hands with me. But, yeah, that's.
Take her from here.
Yeah, the ambulance came and checked her out and took her over to the hospital. That's why I had to step out, so. Apologize for that. I took Taylor her keys and her glasses and stuff over and I asked her to go to
Okay.
here.
We're at civil defense.
Sorry guys. Civil defense, $29,010. Rescue squad, $10,100.
Okay. Question on that, are they gonna have to do the same thing as the fire department? They're gonna have to get their own insurance on their building and on their trucks and everything like the fire department? So they can't be covered there in the county like we're covered it is.
But that's all we've been paying.
Yeah.
There's just nothing-
We've been
Yeah,
making a
that's-
monthly contribution to
yeah.
the rescue squad itself, so
That's what they usually.
they paid their own.
Oh, they've been paying their own.
Yeah, this year, they asked for us to pay their BFI insurance, same as we pay the fire department as well.
Since we're not allowed to, we can't.
We can't, we're not allowed to do that for the fire departments either. So they have to do their own. State came and said that it was illegal to give them money. We can make a one-time donation, like we was, but we're not allowed to pay their insurance or things like that. That was the, emergency management, $150,000.
Okay, that one I need to talk to y'all about. Greg, I know that back when Frank was here, we looked at their salary schedules. Do you remember that, Greg?
New salaries.
Greg
At
was,
911.
On the emergency management,
Greg was,
it's overseas.
he was on vacation, he was on vacation, he was over playing in the same.
Oh, okay. Well,
Big Beach.
on that, you know, there is a maintenance of effort that we need to give them the same amount every year. But I think when Chris was going over his budget yesterday, I heard him say, I may be wrong, and y'all might correct me, that he was trying to get their rates from $11 to $12.50 an hour.
On the,
Dispatchers,
911.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, all of it.
So the start rate would be
It would be
12.
1250.
I just think that's pitiful.
But,
I mean,
why,
you know.
It's a stressful job.
why, I mean,
City
everybody else,
dispatchers.
Yeah.
why they don't?
Yeah.
Well, that's for y'all to discuss, and I.
What's the city dispatcher's name?
I wanna find out.
Well, I've got the.
Most of them are city officers,
We'll
and
get
they
that
kinda
going.
rotate in and out, I think, is what they do.
Give them a $2 raise.
There's a lot of them officers do dispatching and they go out on the street too.
They get, some of them
Oh.
ladies over there, that's all they do
Chris
is
said they were gonna change it
dispatch.
from
Yeah,
11 to
there is
12.
some, but there's a lot of times the officers
That's
come
a
in.
dollar and a half, somebody, he's gonna come out here.
Yeah,
Can we
That's
go
just
up
from what I've
another-
seen,
another
you know,
dollar
I
and a
don't
half
know.
I'll
To
see
make
for eight.
$3 like we was going to everybody else. I didn't realize till the other night that they got paid that way.
$11?
That's not much money at all.
I mean, I don't know how many employees they have, but I
You go to
just,
McDonald's and get $14 an
Yeah, and if you step up into the front
Management,
counter to flipping hamburgers, you get $18.
yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Um,
I think, fast food restaurants ought to contribute to the county, like law and, you know, I really do, I've always thought that.
Yeah, it's,
But I mean, that ain't, and, I mean, it's not a state requirement, I don't think, but Chris requires anybody, he orders
yeah,
to be a EMT, you know,
yeah, that was very.
and that
impressive.
way, you know,
yeah,
I mean, he could
they're
hire,
not all,
Right.
they're not EMT, so back there.
but, you know, I mean,
I asked him
that
that.
makes
Some
them
of
better.
them are
They're not
very
all,
good at their
but he's
job.
like-
He's got some, he's got a few that's got
The-
EMT, but I asked him the other day.
Okay,
And then I asked him about the paramedics. I said, how many's got college degrees? I said, they all got college degrees? He said, no. I said, does any of them got a college degree? And he said, no.
They don't have to.
They have had the 2 years training, so there's.
Yeah, they're gonna go through the
And I said, how about associates?
EMT and then the
Degree.
PIV and then
Well-
And
paramedic.
he said, we might be able, because Wilson County, if they've got a college degree, he said they're giving them another $4,000 a year on top of their salary for the degree, and then if they got associates, they're getting.
so,
So it should be medicine, medical, just a
so let's say an
associate degree.
Most
EMT,
of us got them in,
we would probably wanna look at what, EMT and then clerical,
yeah.
and somewhere in between maybe? So that if the EMT went from 14.10 to 17.10 an hour, you remember that number?
14 and 17.
Right.
So then this would be, the clerk would go from 13 to 1625. So that's 1625, and what was the other number?
Was 14, 10, and 17.
Okay. And so, right now, they're just gonna be moved up to
12.5.
1250.
The, city pays, starting pay anywhere between 1750 and 2050.
Over the dispatcher?
Yeah, for starting pay.
How much is it?
1750 to 2050,
City pays?
that's their starting pay.
Our problem is, we're having a hard time getting out of Pickett County. With the city finally
Well, they-
giving $4,500, the extra $4,500 to it this time.
Our
You know,
real
we're
problem
gonna
is
talk
our
to
tax
Curtis.
revenue
The
is not
county,
high
the
enough.
county gave,
So we'll end up trying to sit
what
down
was
with
it,
the
Pickett
new
County,
city administration here and talk to Chris to sit down and see if we
this
can
year.
get any
I
help from them. Won't be for this year, it'll be up for the next year.
Does Pickett County give you anything
Because-
now?
Yeah, the city gave 4,500, and it seemed like the county gave either 15,000 or 20,000.
And they used to
To
not
Chris.
give any.
We took 911.
Yeah.
They were supposed to got them
Are
up
we
to,
getting 150?
yeah, it's way out of kilter.
We're 20-something thousand and they're 5,000.
But the thing is, we get all the revenue
But
Yeah,
that comes in off the Pickett County's phones and stuff, there, 911.
You have,
their call volume is
And-
not as big as ours call.
And
volume.
they was
They
here
got
that
the light.
we
Oh, in the
that we didn't get
distance.
nothing, and they were promising and never get.
We're not responding to
We tried to
theirs.
sue them for it, and
Uh,
found out we couldn't even get it.
Overton County ain't responding to Pickett County.
That's when we took it over.
That's when we
Pickett
took
County
over all
used to
the,
not pay them,
all the funds.
but now they are.
Let's look, medical insurance, 108,
It'll be on that paper.
other insurance.
It should be, where it says it'll be 150 for us. Okay, it's right here, one of them is giving 3,000, another is giving 24,000.
that's a grant,
The 24 is grand, actually.
Yeah,
so.
Right here,
they're
15
going
and 20, yeah.
They're
They're
going,
going to 20 this year.
Where are we at? What-
oh.
No, it's not on there, it's on the 911.
Everybody now on there.
But I mean, last year,
They're trying to.
I believe, the first year we ever got anything out of it. Out of
Pickett
Pickett
County, yeah.
So you're looking at
Other than the money from the
17,
phone.
that number was 17, what else?
It was 1710, 1410,
No, that, I.
1625,
Okay.
13 to 1625.
1625.
The city used to look at 150 we give them. It started out at 500.
The difference be what?
And we joined with that, spent 150 now, probably
1675-ish.
Well, let's say, yeah,
well, we actually give a lot more than 150. We went down, remember?
I said, yeah, we used to get 500 when we started out.
Yeah.
And we dwindled it down a little.
because there's a maintenance effect.
And we dwindled it down to
Dwindled it down.
150. And we've been, for 10 years, we've been giving 150.
Well,
Ever since I've been-
well, they got
That's where
where
they
it was
was
required
required
a
to come.
maintenance of effort, where we couldn't drop down below that. Before that, you could,
Oh, okay.
and then they put it like a, then after you,
Mm-hmm.
Was that when they was part of the county versus when they was?
Well, when they first started with the 911 system, like they've got now, we were giving 500,000 to it. But then they started getting more money, grants and more money from the state for the auditors and lawyers and stuff, and we were able to drop our contribution. But I think that somewhere there's an agreement that we can't go under 100.
We dropped quite a bit, that's when Ozzy
Yeah.
was in, we dropped quite a bit under Ozzy. We trying to get them self-sufficient and back them off. Well, then they parked us on that maintenance effort where we were at, because we dropped down a lot.
Yeah, we went from 5 to 30, in about 3 years, we went
Yeah.
from 500 to 150.
And then it got where you couldn't drop it down, and we were with that 150 now.
Yeah, so what do y'all wanna do with that one?
Well,
That's what we give now, and that's with them staying at 1250.
if
What's it gonna cost us to go from,
How many employees?
from,
Well, I mean, I don't know how many hours they work, we probably have it.
well, they work 7 on and 7 off, like that, so.
I think it's
And they-
2,000
And
hours.
they get the overtime just like that.
ask Chris how many employees they got.
Which everybody don't call Chris at the same time.
I was gonna text him. 2 minutes.
I'll see.
We'll move on until we hear back from him.
All right, corner, medical examiner, 55.
Those are policies, they go up every day.
That's what I was
It's
gonna
like-
say,
yeah.
how many corners have we got now?
I don't know.
4 or 5? None of them, I mean, they're non-paid, non-paid, ain't they?
That runs out of the emergency management. Down the local health center, it's 153, 857.
And about 80-something of that is grant.
Is that where the -66 comes in on the? No, it would be more.
Yeah, they had a larger grant, but they, because they don't have a dentist, the grant was reduced
Oh, okay.
to
They
get to
still
another
have
county.
it.
I get you the page, man. Next one, ambulance service, 4,007,528.
Page
It's 19 on mine.
19.
Total will be on that.
Why's that still got the assistant director in there?
I haven't updated everybody, because I don't know, if we don't have an assistant director.
We're gonna need to change that director's position over there. We can't give him $60,000 for running that.
Well, he's got
And- and
98,000 in here for him, or for whoever it's gonna be.
Where's it at?
That's supervisors and directors.
That is the director,
Yeah,
What
that's
line item is
88,000. Right.
98.
where you're doing it, and it depends on the years of
Oh,
service.
90.
Yeah, it depends on the years of service.
Okay.
See,
The second line is 98.
that's why I don't know what to put in, do I put in without it or with it?
Well, you'll have to put in the 98
He said
if we get another director.
if we hire him,
And then if he gets.
if we hire
do
him
it
for
for
both,
50,
he's gonna do it.
There's,
It's on-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is it for
Well,
99?
six
No.
part-time.
But if he does them both, 84, drop his.
He said he'd
It
drop
only
us
be
down
for a
one
new person,
person.
I mean, somebody who's been there for.
So,
Yeah, but
you know, I think that's a good idea to
If
combine
he did
it.
it full
I mean,
time.
But we can't
Yeah.
pay him $150,000 a year to do that.
No, that's why we really.
Anybody else.
Yeah, but
You
it's
probably
still
have to
be
leave that in there
cheaper
just for
Okay.
than
budget
hiring
purposes.
somebody
Yeah, and what
else
about
to
the
do it.
assistant director?
But then,
See, if
He's
he
gonna
does
do
it,
away
you're
with
retired, so
assistant
you're
director.
yeah, but what if he's not the one? That's
Done
what, I
position.
saw hinges on whether he's doing it or not.
He had 10.
That's, the assistant director
yeah,
is put in there
he's doing a lot.
To groom
to groom that individual for the
director position.
director position.
So if, we hire it, that would go down, to 50,000, and the assistant director would go away, and he was gonna do $1 more, two supervisors, there'll be 4 total, am I correct?
3, I believe, 3 foremen. Oh, it's.
Four-
Both sides would be 4, one on each shift.
One on each shift.
from this.
That's gonna save 60,000 on the assistant director and 48,700 on the director, so that's sure that $100,000 savings right there.
Why not, when he went to $137,000 extra on
Yeah.
personnel?
Right.
Well, that's all.
For 158,
Yeah, but you're still not
But I think,
gaining any ground.
Well, no, if we kept the assistant director in there and the director, we're still gonna be at 100,000 over that because we got, that's the raises in there for the employees.
We hired, put in Shane as assistant director when what's his name was,
Yeah,
Jim was leaving.
when somebody.
But that was not supposed to stay there.
Well,
That position was just supposed to go in the director position.
You want me to delete
that
it?
was,
The assistant director, shouldn't we delete that?
if I hire Chris as the director,
We don't need an assistant director.
we won't need an assistant director. He was wanting to put supervisors on shift, which they would have a point of contact.
I would've thought
So
they
how
would.
much more is that salary gonna come up then?
It's
It
right
would-
here, it's
it-
158,000, 155, so that's 52,000 each for them.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
almost as much as,
That would be,
more
it.
than.
They was gonna get $1 more an hour.
Okay, but that's with their,
And
this is with their regular pay. This ain't just $1 hour extra they're gonna get, right?
right,
I mean, that's,
but I think I only thought there was gonna be 3, so if there's gonna be 4, I'll need to make sure that that's the correct number. Plus, I don't know,
how many hours they work?
paid for.
2092.
I'll tell you what,
292?
We just need to.
Okay,
Chris is on his way.
Coming here.
Yeah, and he can explain.
Okay, let's move on.
Move fast, come back.
that's $12,000 a year for Kohler. More than what they would be at
We'll-
regular pay.
we'll come back to
$1 an
that.
hour.
Yeah,
It'd be if they got $292 there.
I don't mind paying a man more for doing both jobs, but I don't wanna give him $150,000.
Well, no, we ain't going to. That's why he's going, he said he would.
I'm just saying, just using that as a number.
Right.
yeah.
All right, let's go next. Medical or mental health center. Same, 6,327.
Page 19.
Next will be the public health and welfare.
That's the nutrition program.
Nutrition program. Do we get meals?
We don't. I'm
Is that
steady.
Oh, okay.
That's senior center and
It's not the
stuff like
senior
that.
center, but it's the meal program.
Meal program that's run through there. Clark House participates.
Are they still delivering meals?
Yes, countywide. 97,543.
Some of that's grant money.
The senior citizen assistance, 92,990. And then the next is the library.
Let me get questions
I
here.
haven't.
Oh, the senior citizen or the library?
Okay, that was my question. You ain't
It
doing
was
it. I know, I wanted to,
Oh, the part-time help?
Yes.
Bring them
I
down.
will,
extra.
I will adjust that.
do you
So
remember how much it was?
I'll look it up and
Okay.
We'll have
I
to,
mean, it's not all that much.
it's,
24
20
hours.
or 20-some thousand.
Didn't want it.
this will go a little different on the libraries, cause, salary voted last night to let the librarians, part-time help go. She was wanting to go to 20 hours, but because they're shorthanded, they said that she can go up to 24 hours for the part-time help, because we got one that, is getting induced, so she's gonna be short there, so that took away one of her help, and there's another one or something.
And she's got a,
She got
broke arm.
broke arm,
It happened to that.
helping the rescue squad.
Broke her arm.
So it'll change a little, but it ain't gonna be like a tremendous amount, cause you're talking going up
I just put in what she had put in her request.
her request.
So I'll adjust it.
Her request was going to 20, and salary asked her if she would rather go to 24, so she's like, I'll take anything that she'll give me.
That's gonna, did she say next year she was going up to level 4? She's
No,
level
the
3
state,
now.
state sets that, but we're close
Yeah,
when it goes to population.
yeah.
But when it'll help us more, they'll give us more money.
Yeah.
When she
when it
gets
goes
to a
up.
level 4.
When she gets to a level 4. Well, she's on level 4.
She does a good job.
No, she's on level
She's
3.
on- I know she said that it would change if she went up another
Yeah.
level.
Yeah, it would change,
You know, she does, I don't know.
it would change quite a
I
bit.
haven't heard you make a complaint. I don't use it, I've never been in there, but since she's been there.
She's pretty good at what she does over there. I like her. Yeah.
The social, cultural, and recreational, 38,000. That's our contributions. The agriculture extension office, 117,731, that's a little lower.
Just because they had a grant last year.
That's,
For the-
So when they get a grant, that takes that down.
Yeah,
that's 22% of their salary, right, Connie? Except, Mr. Lesson, we pay 25%, right?
okay, that's great.
And there's another one we pay some of hers to
The secretary.
yeah.
Yeah, we may pay all the secretary. Don't really take more of it. Okay.
All right, soil conservation. It's 112,409.
Okay, and so, they asked for $1,000 in travel. Did y'all want that in there or not? It's been there and taken out different years, so
How much do they generally use to travel?
I'd say they have a conference or something, maybe one conference a year, I don't know. But usually, I mean, there's been times that in the request, it has $1,000 in there, but it was taken out a few years ago, so I didn't know whether to put it back in or not.
Did they request any this time?
Yes, 1,000. So how do y'all feel?
So you gotta go.
Well, we could put it in, if they don't use it, we can take it back next year.
Okay,
That's my feeling, that's a little pretty, how they feel, and that's my.
As long as that's what they use it for.
Well, I mean, it has to be.
Tourism, 5,000.
okay, now that is from the hotel motel money, that we put in there this time, that we had not been putting in there before. Steven?
So
Next.
next is the,
What's the total on, tourism now? That's,
what's the total of the hotel motel tax? Is that what you're asking?
oh, I'm sorry. What are we giving to,
We got there yet.
Oh.
You're talking to the chamber? We-
yeah, never mind. Sorry, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Next is the industrial development.
Yeah.
It's 41,000.
Okay.
That's engineering services and chamber.
And advertising. You want that money put back in for,
Yes, advertisement. Let's see. Where we at? Down here, economic and community development. 396,436.
and what that is that food insecurity grant.
Does that have the water?
No,
That's what I was looking for.
water's in the building maintenance.
Explain what you just said.
The food insecurity grant?
Except for the, like,
Amendment
5
one?
loaves and then the
Yes.
money, okay.
Yeah,
Airport,
airport, do y'all want that in there? It's, in the past, we had, helped with the maintaining the hangar.
We always have.
it's our half ours, half city.
I mean, I say we leave it because
And we split the grants,
if they,
matches with the city.
We probably don't use it as much as the city does.
That's okay.
The county does use it a lot.
And, what's his name, didn't he give us something up there?
That's it, half the hangar.
Yeah. Fitzgerald, wasn't
The veteran services, 41,921.
Okay. What's
That
that?
one not subject to maybe change.
Yes, it is subject to
Subject
change.
to change, but this would be taken to full-time, 5 days a week, having a veteran service officer, instead of 3 days a week, moving to 5 days a week.
Is the 5 days reflected in that?
No,
This is not
three.
reflected.
he? How much will the 5 days, come up then?
I'll have to look.
We'd have
Cause
to
it'd be
remove-
insurance,
She doesn't need the insurance,
she doesn't get
She
insurance.
said she
But
was
she-
putting it in.
but
I
veterans, but she
just
would
don't
get,
see why the government don't pay for that position in every community. You know, people go and fight for this country, it just irks me.
And that office has great potential to help every veteran that's in our county. And we have other veterans in other counties that come. There's some,
Why don't they go to their own counties?
because
They can't get service.
most,
They
sometimes
don't have
they,
service there.
sometimes they have a veteran service officer only 2 or 3 days a week.
Yeah.
So,
That's why they come.
Yeah, somewhere.
Was you here that night she come talk to us?
Yeah.
You know, I talked to several veterans that wasn't here, and nothing, done talked to any of them, but I've talked to several, what they thought about if she needed the extra time. And
When
you
did
would
that
be surprised
happen?
at some of the stories that they told me that she had helped them with,
Well,
that
we're
she
living
really
in a
needed more help.
different, we're living in a different time now than we did when we were mothers.
So,
well, I do have one question.
everybody that I talked to thought she needed more time. I said, I don't know.
What the veterans committee said? You talking about-
before,
Well,
even before she came into office, Barlow was trying to go full-time himself. Because he said the same thing, you can't get everything, you need a day of clerical because she's having to stay over on her own time to do clerical work of putting all this stuff in, going back and checking. A lot of times when you're sitting and talking to somebody, you're taking information down, but then there's somebody else waiting, you ain't got time to put it in the computer. It takes a lot of times to service one person.
Don't go take it up, don't
your
you?
question, to answer your
20,000?
question, they're,
I don't know what it would cost.
yes, and only, they're going,
I have a question.
going to have another meeting with them.
Let's see.
But what goes, or the salary committee, yes, I don't know about,
Oh, okay.
I don't know about the better. Now, I talked to Jesse, Jesse's from our district, and he's a veteran, and he said that he would still not, if it hadn't wasn't for her, he would still not have all of his stuff done that, because he get his retirement like he did when he retired out.
So she's more of an asset to the county than
Yeah.
To the veterans.
Yeah,
well,
and I mean, you know, we
County
need to,
veterans.
our veterans need to be taken care of.
yeah, I think.
But I'm like, you, the
100%.
government should do it, but they don't.
So here's my question.
Okay.
The archives, the veteran, and the custodian currently make $15 an hour start pay.
What page you on?
We're just looking at the
Oh,
salary
I'm
schedule.
sorry.
This is, yeah, so that's, we never really have adjusted, I mean, we've adjusted it, but what I'm saying is, it's never really been,
Don't try to make it look like it's mine.
there's
The
never,
baby's been. Sorry, go ahead, sorry.
so, what I'm saying is,
They would need a little too.
Sure.
I'm not saying not give it to them, I'm just saying, their starts is at 15, but then you've got clerk, bookkeeper, and office manager, at, say, 13.25, 14 or 15 people. You just want to leave it there, and give them the regular rate?
Yeah,
All right, move on.
That's not, if we don't want to talk to Chris while he's here.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to talk to him while he's here, I wouldn't want to talk to him when he's not here.
We thought you'd bring something.
Yeah.
So the veteran service is subject to change,
Yes,
cause this is reflected on current
yes,
3 days.
Yes.
So we'll have to run numbers of what it would take to do 2 additional days. All right, let's go back now to the ambulance service. Nope,
Do we want to go to ambulance service? Or do we want to go to 911?
okay. We'll start at 911 and then go to.
What page is that on?
911 was on page,
We can still defense.
civil defense, yeah, it's right there, it's on page
17.
17 on y'all, 18 on ours. Don't know what the difference is.
But that's,
Yeah, okay.
That's six part.
but what, we were going back to 911 before we were.
Well, it wasn't the 911, we're going to civil defense. Where we're at emergency management, 150, right?
Page.
Emergency management.
Mine's still defense on 17.
Yeah, mine too.
All right, everybody there?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, you want to go for civil defense?
Oh, I thought you were.
I thought,
Oh, I thought
it was
we were
ambulance
going back.
service, I thought it was ambulance service we were
Yeah,
going over.
what we doing on
Asking
civil
about
defense?
I want to talk about 911.
All right, well, I'm not ambulance, 911.
Oh, where are we at?
We're just,
We're just
we're
talking.
talking about,
Right now, three.
what we wanted to talk about was the number of employees you had, what they paid, because we have a maintenance of effort and we're reviewing that. So can you give us some information, please?
14 full-time,
14 full-time,
includes me and the secretary, and 12 dispatchers. 6 part-time.
and so when you mentioned that they were going to the rate of 11 to 12 people start rate? Okay, so we're preparing the budget and I don't think that's a terrible rate. I know it's progress, but I'm just saying.
It's progress for us.
Yes. But we were just looking at what, if we increased our maintenance of effort to pay with their.
Everything that the county pays is salaries. That's it.
And then the cities, I mean, then Piggott counties.
I had
The
all
city
that
used to
broke
put
down.
in 60. Well, they quit. So, and nobody.
So you were giving them $1.50, Chris, you were giving them $1.50 on that, and I suggested to them that we put in enough money to bring them to the $3 like everybody else, and
Yeah,
$1.50, and that's what we know how many you had, till we would know, and how many hours we get till we would know what to put in the budget to make them up to $3 like everybody else.
But when we do,
14, there's 12 dispatchers.
There's 12 dispatchers on hourly.
Hourly.
Full-time.
And then the secretary is hourly. They have full-time. And then we have 6 part-time.
So you could get those numbers, you could get how many hours I work a year or,
Oh, yeah.
They work
Yeah, I can get you
84
an average
hours.
tonight, probably.
Did they work 7 on and 7
They
off?
work 7 on, 7 off.
So are they getting 292 hours? Or is that what it is?
Some of his ambulance service.
292 hours. So we, I mean, you figure that. I had to go down and count. 51, what's in that on one of those?
no more coffee.
Yeah, he's already jittery on
No more
that.
coffee,
That's the reason you get her, you need some coffee.
no.
And if, I mean, if you give us extra money, if the chair, he's very chairman. Obviously, then the amendments, once we pass the budget.
and that'll increase your maintenance of effort,
Right.
to whatever, more than 150,000. We're trying to get the other parts to pay equal parts right now. We're still working on Piggott County to come up
We got-
with more, and you said you got another 4,500?
Yes. From there, they are, our
Big
per
county.
capita. I can't remember the exact number. It's $6 and something per capita. And they are almost matching us.
They're almost matching us right now. And the city has,
The city hasn't given me their increase, but the city of Livingston
Livingston
doesn't
quit
pay.
contribute.
And they used to,
They used to put in $60,000 back in the nineties.
Those are good times.
Maybe talk to the city mayor or the new mayor.
Well, that's on
Think
the
Lori
agenda.
probably lean more towards that.
That's on the agenda.
That's on the agenda.
No, that was, okay. I got the cities
that's what it was.
started back. I got, that would be a dollar we was trying to increase from us to 12 employees plus a part-time.
So when we're looking at our salary schedule, we're looking at the pay rate for EMTs and clerical, like a combination, to see, do you feel like that's where they would fit?
Yeah, I think all of them go to EMT school. They all have to pass EMT
I mean,
school.
so,
All of them right now do.
so compared to EMT, pay rate would be better.
Yeah. It would.
Your dispatchers, they all go to.
Dispatchers ever since the nineties have
Oh, I
had to
thought you
go.
said they didn't have EMT.
They all go to, they have to go to EMT school and pass.
To be able to give any type of medical advice on the
Right. Well, it was not only that, but it was
liability.
the ability for the dispatcher to understand better what the patient was telling them and to understand how the ambulance service functioned and worked.
I thought they all got that way.
Whenever Ralph Robbins came on back many years ago, we started doing that. And it was a great, used to we would write out words
And that's what.
and terminology and say, okay, this is bad, this is not so bad, this is okay. And they would look down their list for that word. So when we went to send them to EMT school, then they understood it.
You just got the language.
Language and the knowledge and the skills, actually. We've had people bring babies and other people by the 911 center stop in, and we carry a first aid kit just like everybody else. They went right to work on them.
When we starting our EMTs out at?
1450 right now.
Three would be seven.
I've got 14, 10, 17, 10.
Yeah.
That's EMT, I've got advanced 14.
EMT
Oh,
basic.
advanced is 1450, okay.
So the basics 415.
So you're looking at another $1.50.
You make
Per
them
hour.
basic or
That would be
advanced or both. Or
If
make
I
them
have my
do
math
advanced or
right,
basic
there,
or both.
41.
We encourage them to
Person.
go all the way to paramedic.
You encourage them to go all the way to paramedic.
Yes, sir.
They get 292
If they're willing.
That a dollar would be 292, and then half of 292 is 149.
Ours, we only
Added
require,
together.
the-
I remember we
most of
put
them
the-
are all
Is
advanced.
this monthly?
They changed the skill level
Yeah.
back years ago from
Well.
EMTIB to an advanced. And that was where they went, was the EMTIB. And so the majority of them are
Looking at
advanced.
52.
They're advanced. I was EMTIV.
But, well, this is a year, because I mean, they get 292 hours a year. That'd be $441 a year at $1.50, wouldn't it?
I can figure that quick.
I can calculate
But
later.
we don't have to,
I'm just,
That's it, it's if we're just $1.50.
yeah, because he's giving them $1.50 out.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we give $1.50, so that'd be
That's
$3.
other stuff, that's,
And to that,
I sent
She said
the highway
just
to
give it to
maybe
Taylor.
one, and we
well,
will,
to make
I give it to Taylor and ask Taylor here in a little bit, take it to.
But that's what I come up with, but I make a bunch of change or two.
To go over there.
Is it high blood pressure check?
so we'll discuss
Can't
it.
tell you.
can't tell you.
That's HIPAA.
So we'll discuss that.
Thank you, Chris, and you'll get me some information.
Next was,
What about your part-time? What would you do?
How many hours do they usually work? For this,
I would have to ask.
okay, that's fine.
I mean, we don't have enough. We work short a lot of times because we don't have enough, so.
Yeah,
But they work several hours.
yeah. Can you just get maybe an average for the year?
I can pull all that off quick looks and get it for you.
Did y'all have any other questions?
Thank you, sir. You're very welcome.
Sorry, Morgan.
No problem whatsoever. Glad to help.
Guess we'll see in a little bit.
See you at 6.
See you, see
Thank
you. Thank y'all.
Yeah, about an hour from now.
It's 2:30 now.
And I'll let you know about that stuff you were asking
Okay,
about.
thank you.
Good.
Just email me because I can't remember.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Alright. Think what we left off,
Page 23,
22, who's at the bottom of 22, there, the economic and community development. We just did that, didn't we? Yeah, we done our airport, now we're down to veteran service, now we're down to,
Traffic control.
traffic control,
page 23.
9,000.
Road signs.
Road sign.
Who puts up the road signs now?
Well,
County does.
Solid waste.
solid waste has been putting up road signs.
They put, I mean, cause our speed limit on sign on my road been down for
Anytime we
4 or
got
5
a sign,
years.
you report it to the highway department, that's
They-
down.
The highway department, when they mowed, they cut the post off. And it's been down ever since. They done that when they cold mixed that road.
So the road name, the name of a road would be through solid waste, but anything,
Speed limit.
speed limit would be the highway department.
I guess.
We have a lot of problems with people stealing road signs, like names and stuff, and that really affects our ambulance services and things that depend on those road names. And I get calls.
They used to do it for the aluminum until they started making it out of that cast, where it's not
Yeah.
worth as much.
It's more of a fiberglass now, ain't it?
Yeah,
And they can kind of tell if you
yeah.
cut it down and grinded it up to try to sell it. We have actually put cameras up on frequently stolen signs to try to catch people stealing the signs. And that's pretty sad.
Either lane gets tore down frequently.
Smith Road does too.
A lot of Smiths.
Yeah, there's a lot of Smiths. And, but anyway, up on the mountain, it's all the time, there's somebody stealing street sign. Down Independence, it's half the time, but it just different areas. I think it's the farther out you get, the more people think they won't get caught. It's not just that community stealing sign, that's not what I'm saying, but that if you see a road sign missing, tell the highway department, they'll order it, and solid waste goes and puts it up.
I found about 50 in Moby River and Florida down.
Mm-hmm.
Road signs.
Yeah, the little ones, the smaller
Yeah.
ones that they took off, I guess they got
I
scared.
found a bunch of speed limit signs and kids at play signs and the curb, that stuck off the road back in the woods when they have at this hyper truck road.
What you do is,
Little grant.
All right, let's reel it in, boys. Let's reel it in. Litter and trash collection, 44,500,
All grant.
all in. Total expenditures, 21,405, 766.
what page?
This is last page.
24, total expenditures.
Total expenditures, 21,405, 762. Now, a lot of that is grants.
I don't have that.
That's not on my page.
Not on mine either.
It is
It's on the very last.
It's on the it's on the next to the last.
Next to the
Next
last.
last.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
guys. I don't know why I printed off different. She printed them all off at the same time. That's kind of weird.
Where's it at on there?
Right down at the bottom, 3 lines up from the bottom.
estimated balance of,
So
estimated
it's
fund
better.
balance, estimated fund balance that we'll have July first is $592,108.
Okay, got it now.
And then the estimated balance as of June 30th will be $3,804,285. All right, we went all the way through.
We're gonna go through the cut now?
Now, the,
See if there's any places to cut.
what all other places do we, so we have fund,
What about the nonprofits? Were they in here?
No,
we got,
I can't talk about them until I get all this settled.
yeah, we gotta get our budget before we see what we got left over to hand out.
You're talking about solid waste? You're talking about solid waste, are you asking who else we contribute to?
Yes,
Okay. That would
it
be,
should be all in there.
solid waste, we're not changing, it's still, 8.5 cents, which is equivalent to 374,000.
This would be on different,
This is just,
They'll be on the back page of this one over here, Greg, it was- this one, no. This was the bill right here.
So where was that lawsuit in this one?
it was under,
Page,
was it under jail? Or litigation or something like that?
just a second.
Right here, Greg.
I got it.
She was asking what a lawsuit was in there. We don't, we had to show it in the books, but we only have to take out what we pay per year. It's the 162, 106, yeah,
$162,000 in change a year.
162.50. Is that what, I can't remember, what was it? 162.50, I think is what we pay per year,
Yes,
and that's where it'll be shown,
it's on my page 17 of that sheet that we just went through. Well,
the big paper that we just went through.
Page what?
it was on my page 17. It's under jail,
$165,000.
no,
No,
it's
no,
under jail judgments.
Jail judgment,
no, under the judgment, says, we'll see the 1.5,
505.
505.
Mhm.
162,500, that's what it was.
It's on page 16 on mine.
Jail judgments.
Yeah, that's it.
So,
What number?
3, 162.5.
One 162.5, that's what we gotta take out every year, that's what we got.
For 8 years, right?
8 years. Well, 7 more, because we've already paid the first payment. We had to pay the first payment within,
It'll be 1,000.
90 days.
I looked for it.
And that's sad, because you never cared for her father.
It's done, decided and done now. We can go back and change.
It couldn't be finished.
No,
let me have it.
Go to page 16.
Go page 17.
Yeah,
Yours
six-
may be on 17. You look on 17.
there's the sheriff's department.
505.
See,
There's the jail.
$4.99.
It's my page 19.
I don't know what in the world.
Yeah, there
I don't know, but I'm not.
Really, it's on 19?
It's all right, it's all right, here we go.
16 on 19.
Oh,
You got 2 extra pages, you're special. You got more numbers.
And we got that put out for 8 years, right?
But that's where it shows the 162.5, that's only, we don't have to take all of it out at once. Because we're paying it over an 8-year period, we only have to take out what we have to pay them.
We have to put in the budget, then that we're gonna expand each year.
Yeah. So whatever we got to pay them each year, that's what's gotta be in the budget. All right.
So, right now, we don't have any of the pennies going to debt service because there is no debt. And solid waste gets the 8.5 cents. So what we're looking at, for the general fund is a little over 2 cents, solid waste 8.5, highway,
Well, in my opinion, if you're going to contribute to 911 to bring them up where they need to be, I still say they make a whole lot more than what ours make, and they get better benefits and things like that.
On 911.
No, I'm talking about the highway department.
Oh.
They make more money and they get better benefits than what our people do, but if we're giving money, a little extra money to 911 to bring their dispatchers up where they should be, because shoot for $11 an hour.
Yeah, that's.
So that 1350.
We're going to 12.5.
So they're EMT, EMT advanced.
I don't even have
If
to
they're
run,
gonna
I don't even have to
play
run the
that,
numbers and see what $2 would be versus the $3.
Well, even if you
Yeah.
bring them up to what a EMT advanced makes, cause that's what they requires them to make.
Yeah, they're EMTs, I mean,
I thought he said that he required them all to be.
They're not actually on the road.
No, but they gotta have EMT.
Yeah,
I know, but
you
they're
know,
not actually on the road.
but still, if they're doing a call over the radio, they can tell the person,
Yeah.
you know, this is
But
what,
they're not actually working on the person.
yeah, technically.
They have, he said.
Yeah, over the
but we're
phone.
not even looking at getting them at that EMT rate.
No, it
Yeah.
won't be.
It won't be nowhere near
It won't be
that,
that.
so,
It'll just
I
be
know
on-
that.
yeah, but what I'm saying is at least we're making progress.
You remember a few years back when, they would work one shift 911 and one shift at ambulance service, they've done that and they can't do that no more, 'cause it's, again,
It used to be, but now,
yeah, they can't do that no more.
I mean, now they're seeing them as a separate agency, but we'll get into that later.
Okay.
You gonna get us a
Any other
final
comments?
number on that?
No, that's just. That's all I had on that, I guess.
Well, I mean,
So if we went to
that
something-
1350 will drop down probably to 1175. It's roughly in my head figuring on the highway department.
Oh,
We're gonna give enough to give them $2 and James said he was giving them $1, so that makes them 3. Chris is giving $1.50, so we're giving his enough to make $1.50 to make him 3.
it'd be
So-
on 14 employees, right? Oh, no,
Now, now did he do, well, I'll look at it. I'll
Did you
just wait.
figure that out, how much it was?
It was 4 or something, 400 something.
11, you said, huh? 411?
Yeah, but it was, I think, or something.
Okay, we need to approve the salary schedule, and
Yep.
I made the changes that,
We need to vote.
approve the salary schedule.
Is that this one?
No, we don't have it, we will pass it around. It's the,
Are we done with all these others?
Not yet, just over the side.
Okay.
this one, you want me to pass around, what, the
Yeah,
last,
it's just one, just look at it.
what I had in it,
I had some.
the
All that
last time.
flip pages.
The last time that, I had the salary schedule, I took it to salary committee, and then we went over, there was a few, positions that we had not discussed before, and the majority of the answer was to move them up 8%, which was as close to the $3 as we could get.
Yeah.
Because those individuals were being paid on either a daily rate or something that's not just the regular hourly rate. So I made those changes, updated it, and have it.
if we do the $3 this time, or whatever dollar amount to get the salaries up, I think in the future, we need to go back to percentages.
It's fine.
Well, see, they're getting a
That'd be
percentage on
great.
top of that.
I thought I had.
Yeah, but I'm talking
Yeah.
about the total
Yeah.
for the next time.
But
I had
this
this-
is starting with starting pay too.
Yeah, that's the starting point, after this time, but I'm talking about in the future. then
So
two,
they're
3
gonna
years.
get everybody's gonna get a $3 an hour raise, plus they're gonna get their raise for, like, say, you've been 5 years, you're gonna get that raise too.
Yes. Because.
You're getting a
it's
$3
still
and a
based on years of
1%.
service.
Yeah, you've always, you still keep
Everybody
that one.
starting is getting a $3 an hour raise on the start.
When you hear the
And
number
everybody that's-
change, he's gonna get like $4 and
So they got it at the 1% scale too?
okay, it's years of service.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you've been here 20 years, you're getting more than a $3
Yeah,
raise.
because you're not just a
Or
starter.
you just,
I don't think.
oh, you didn't, go back to when you split, so on the vice versa.
We looked at that before.
Yeah.
From what I understand, you guys are trying, or we are, we're trying to get the salary, base the salary up to a better starting level to be
Yes.
competitive, to be able to retain people and.
You mean next
and
time
hire-
go on
hire
percentages, is that what
employees.
you're saying?
Because we've been losing so many.
2 years ago, if we would raise the starting pay, and we done the
Yeah.
salary increase,
We wouldn't be right looking at this.
Wouldn't be looking at this.
But we didn't
But
have
we
the
didn't.
money to do
We didn't
it.
have money to figure out.
No, we didn't.
Gas
That
went
was
up
my-
to $5
remember,
a
that was
gallon,
my plan.
we wouldn't have to be worried about it either.
Taco Bell.
That was
used to
election
cost you
time.
$5, now it costs you 15.
That's probably good.
Yeah.
But the only way to sustain this is a tax raise, right?
That's the only way we can.
That's the only way you can.
Well, that's the only place.
We would have
can
to
go.
anyway to cover the $2 raises that was given 2 years ago. Cause that bonus money is run out, and now you gotta cover that $2 raise.
But
So you're
I
not
think-
covering 3, you're covering 5.
I think this will help, because we're raising the starting pay,
Yeah,
you know, as well as everybody else. And then if you come in today as a new employee, you're gonna start out at $17 instead of $14.
Which is
Where
kind of
2 years,
roll that up.
ago, you started out at the $14.
Cost of living now
But-
around here. you
But
know.
Greg would have still been, he got $2 more than you did because you just started, you know.
And we're looking at about 8% increase across the board. That still don't match the cost of living.
no.
No,
It's still.
I feel sorry for a young family right now trying to buy a house.
But it's
They
better,
can't- not
but it's
that
better
8%
than,
interest on a loan.
it's
What
better
is the
where we
house
were
loan
2
right
years ago
That's
or 5 years
17%,
ago.
that's what they told me.
Are you kidding?
That's
For a
what-
house loan?
That's what they
How
told me.
much?
I thought they told me 17%.
I got some of this to
No,
for
okay.
a lot less than that.
That was, okay, that was the big deal.
Houses
The
on prime.
yeah, the vehicles are
Yeah, that's the big
are expensive, because I tried to buy a tractor and they told me 10, and I said, I don't need a tractor that bad.
Well, I bought one
Houses
yesterday.
I do.
are on
I
prime.
bought one yesterday and.
Another
But the
tractor.
house prices is what gets me, our
What'd you
young
buy?
couples that's getting married.
Another
can't
new
afford a
one?
house.
Kubota.
But anyway, where we at? Let's reel it back in, we need to get this done.
Geraldine's looking over the salary.
Oh, I'm sorry,
No,
we,
it's okay.
we're almost 3 hours in, but I know we got, that's the reason why we set it early, because we've got to get this thing
So we got 911 at 6.
agreed.
Yeah.
We got her by 6, so
Somebody free to sign their schedule and the appropriate resolution and the tax bill.
So, back to the original. I've got the tax levy first, tax levy resolution.
Minutes. Minutes.
Minutes over here. Where we at? Back to where we started yesterday?
Yeah.
Tax levy resolution.
Okay. Appropriate resolution, right?
Yeah,
Or tax revenue.
this is what'll go in the paper.
Oh, I see.
It's what was printed off yesterday,
It's on the one.
This was just gotta go in the paper, it still won't be solid, right?
No, there's still be a vote on it. and there's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
right?
what.
So this is our proposed tax.
This is what our proposed tax levy will be, and this will be
Is it
what
gonna
we're
look
meeting
like
on the
that,
next 3
paper,
days.
just like that?
be, Lillian's supposed to be working on some verbiage for me.
We've gotta have it in the paper 10 days before we vote
I
on
just
it.
said I have to enter
That's
the
why.
tax levy data. It doesn't
Reason why.
say in what one, it doesn't specify the format.
I'd say 2.67.
That's what we're looking at.
Okay, and then we're gonna probably.
If you're,
Well,
we still gotta do the
Well,
proposed.
and
911.
and it'll probably, well, it may be, if you do 911, it may be the same, because
Yeah,
it
we're
won't
dropping-
be, if you done what you talked about,
Yeah,
it
we're
won't be as
dropping.
much.
Yeah.
But then you add 14 more employees on 911.
So it'll be about that same.
It'll be around the
About
same.
What gets you on that one? We're trying to come up with from other entities that would
Well, we
cover
still need
that.
to,
But what if you don't?
but we still need to.
Yeah, we'll try,
Yeah,
And if they get it,
but if not,
then you
it's,
can bring them up where they need to be on their end.
yeah, but we'll never drop down below that again, though.
No.
If we go up to maybe to
Not the price they sell on land around here.
160 or 150, and it goes up to, I don't know, 160, we're stuck at 160 now.
Same with the highway.
Yes.
You give them more in
And
your
the library.
and the
Library.
library and the election, depending on the number of elections.
And the schools,
Yeah,
the schools.
The schools and that's no more.
no, actually,
They're stick around so the schools, the state is mandating over the next few years that the teachers, they're setting a minimum for the teachers.
One thing we've got to look forward to though is the appraisal year.
Next year.
And if the value of the penny goes up, the value of the penny goes up $5,000, whatever that brings in,
Tax will go down.
on 911 and the highway and the library, we can drop the pennies down.
To match it.
That's like it used to be
Yeah.
10 at the highway department and take it high.
Yeah.
Or 8.3, whatever,
Yeah.
you know. If the
As
penny
long as
drop-
they're
if the
still
penny-
getting the same dollar
yeah, if
amount.
the penny brought in more, we could drop the penny, but they still get the same amount of dollars.
Yeah. The same with schools, same with everything.
Yeah, same with the library, whatever, that has a maintenance event. We can't cut their dollars, but we can cut the pennies we give them if the penny goes up.
I think with the way the general fund is, I don't think we'll have to make any adjustments. Even though you're increasing the amounts for 911, it'll just reduce the amount that the fund balance would be.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I'd rather just get a firm 2.67 if that's,
Okay.
we're 2.6708.
For about a 2.9706.
No, Jesus. 2.6708. I need a motion to accept the 2.6708. And that would be given the highway and the 911 as well.
That was the
2.6708.
Mhm.
Or, yeah,
Yes.
2.6708.
what, oh, okay, I wrote it.
See it?
Because them's gonna equal out,
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, it should be,
That's,
what, we 97 now? 197.
197, that's 70 cents.
70 cents.
We need to look at basically, so, cause it's been so long,
Yeah.
It's
It's been 10 years. And we're taking in income of 10 years ago. Everything has changed tremendously in the last 10 years. If you went up 2% every year, that would
By doing the steeples, it says.
that would cause 10 years from now not to have to do another 70. You see what I'm saying? It would just do a little bit at a time. And then if you didn't need it, then you didn't do it.
Yeah, that's where we dropped the ball in the last 10 years.
It's not going up.
It's not going up.
Yeah.
The nickel or dime every 2 or 3 years,
I would look at 2%,
just to have,
Just enough to catch up with the.
just enough to keep up with the cost of living. Because
we
look at lumber and all
long
this stuff, it's just so out of shape right now.
And Randall's is pretty cheap, that's it.
I wouldn't take one.
But that's just something that we need to look at. It's possibly looking at doing like a 2% road on every year. That way it's only going up just a little at a time instead of having a 70 cent at 10 years from now. And that's a big blow.
That's a big deal.
That's a big blow. But that would keep everything flowing the way it needs to flow. Because
But
it's been tough.
Here again-
Inflation hits.
here again, we've got,
Nobody is a fan
A lot
of
of
raising
this
taxes at all.
is causing on county loss.
That's a
I
lot.
mean,
But then you got your pay scale as
you
well.
can figure out half of that's costing
Yeah.
on the loss.
Fuel went up, foods went up, the jail, everything went up.
Paper, I mean,
It's not
internet
just, yeah,
service, I mean, everything.
Air's up.
the cost of operating,
That put our fund balance at what,
5 million something. No, we have to have 3 months
yeah,
expenditure
we've got to have at least 4 million
and
to cover it
Yeah,
in our fund balance.
I'm gonna say between 3.8 and 4.2.
We remember
So
when we
that-
used to not get the suggested
right after
amount.
3 months, 3 months.
Remember when we used to not get the suggested amount, but we recover it because everybody didn't spend what was in their budget, and we recovered. So we undershot there a lot of years and didn't meet that. A lot of years.
Well, last year we approved $3 or $4 million less, more than revenue.
And you're still, it's still
And
more
this one-
expenditures than revenues,
More expenditure.
still, even with the tax increase.
Well, it's not a popular move, guys. I don't care who does it, when we do it. We've got to do it. And even at $3, it's not enough for a lot of our employees that risk their life doing their job. But I'm gonna make a motion that we present this to the court to be voted on. Because we've been behind the 8 ball so long, we've got to do something, or we ain't gonna have, we ain't gonna have no employees.
So Randall makes a motion.
I mean, it's not popular to know whoever does, whoever votes for, whoever don't. But when you sit back and look at what we've got and what we paid and what we've got, we've got to do something.
It's just kind of hard times.
And a second,
You look at me for it.
I'll split it with
Flip a coin?
I'll split it with, yeah, I'll say.
Lee second.
Yeah.
All right. Lee Richards. His roll call. Lee Richards,
Yes.
Greg Nivens.
Yes.
Randall Boswell.
Yes.
Geraldine Walker.
Geraldine. Geraldine.
Then the appropriating resolution, that's where we're at. The big long paper.
What's this one here?
Big long one back there. Stand up and down like this. It's probably in with your other ones.
It is.
It's very thin paper, right?
Okay, there it is.
What that is a summary of all the expenditures, a major category for each fund that the county has.
This is the numbers that we went over individually.
I got you a question. How long have we been getting 7,200 to?
I don't think I got one of those.
Like this?
You got an extra one of these?
Yeah.
You need this one. I can go have one made.
You don't have one
Yeah,
like
that's
this?
right, we have. We had to get rid of 100.
It was big.
Yeah.
I bet it's right here. There was one laying here. I thought.
What is it?
Just
This
take that one.
page.
We
There's
got
another
more.
one right here.
We got
Yeah,
more.
that's good. I got
Yeah,
it.
okay.
Yeah, thank
These
you.
are just your major categories that we went over. Now, you said something about 7,200 to the airport. That's for the airport hangar.
Yeah. That's
That's
it.
where
I
we're
just asked
half
how
on
long,
that.
I just had to ask how long we'd been doing that.
I guess since it was donated to us.
No, no,
We
we've
had-
done it one time.
We've done it a long
No,
time.
this is way before now.
I'll take a motion to approve the appropriation or resolution.
Yeah.
Greg makes a motion, do I have a second?
No,
Randall? All right, any questions? All right, roll call, Geraldine Walker.
No.
Randall Boswell,
yeah.
Greg Nivens,
Yes.
and Lee Richards.
Yes.
All right, and the next is approve the salary schedule.
It's the same like last year.
That's what
Change
the,
it.
Pass it around, the salary schedule, it's,
So.
that's the one that was getting
the
passed
$3
around.
increase.
That's his $3 increase
Okay.
off.
Yeah.
That's a $3 increase across the board. You can take a,
I'll make a motion on that. We'll do that.
all right, Lee makes a motion, I have a second,
Me.
Randall second. Any discussion?
Which
All right.
number is that on here?
It's not,
Pass it.
this is gonna be under new business,
No.
it's all fall under new business, we had to approve it.
Oh, you didn't get one of these? I thought you.
Yeah, that's one of the ones we,
Yeah,
No,
No,
the copy is the wrong
one
one.
she copied me is not, it's not that, it's something else.
it has to be
You
written
can
down.
have
outside.
one.
I hate wrote nothing else down.
well, let's see,
It's- I didn't have.
it's, we'll get you, cover.
It's fine.
I know nobody wants to raise taxes, and I don't wanna raise myself, because I pay more now than I ever did. Moving into the city, but, you know, if we don't get our employees raises,
Keep it just
But,
certified.
you know, that's
That's the reason why they ain't done a census at the jail.
That's why the, you know, if I need a change, I want no change from good, I want no change to getting paid to be there, you know. And, or Robbie, or Jeff, or, I mean, I don't know
I
many
had
of them over there
opportunity
anymore.
after opportunity
You
to
know.
go to other
And-
counties, but I was dedicated to what I did for Overton, because they sent me to school, and I just felt.
And like I say, the $3 is still not enough for them and the deputies, but that's all we can do. That's better
That's
than.
$5 in the last 2
Yeah,
years.
that's better than, and we've got employees that works for the county that's dedicated to that. They can go somewhere else. Shane can go somewhere else. Shane loves over the county. Just like the rest of them.
Homes on.
Home talk.
We're a roll call on this, we got a motion and a second, we got Greg Nivens. Salary schedule,
Oh, yes.
Randall Boswell,
Yeah.
Geraldine Walker,
No.
Lee Richards.
Yes.
All right, next scheduled meeting.
Well, we didn't do, did we do, the highway fund? There was an argument about that 5% last night, so.
But,
No, we continued over to the highway budget, didn't we? That's right, we need to go back.
You can go back over that and see, we're gonna,
We accepted it as read.
We accepted it as
We don't have
read.
to.
We don't have to approve it through here, they goes through the other.
and we adjusted to the $2, just the nickel down to whatever was $2.
okay, all right.
And then they're still getting $3.
Yeah, we did that yesterday. Next scheduled meeting, Monday the 10th, 5 o'clock.
Be here.
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We
Got
got,
all these papers coming.
we gotta send these into the paper. We'll get it situated the way we need it. We'll send it over. At this time, I will take any questions,
One Monday,
concerns,
5 o'clock.
anything.
5 o'clock Monday.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I mean, that meeting, 911 meeting,
It's
instead
at
of 6.
6. It's at 6.
Entertain a motion.
No, it's amended.
Oh,
All right, Geraldine makes a motion. Hey, seconded by Randall, right, all four?
Yep,
Yep.
All right, meeting's up.
Geraldine, I need this.
I'll just give it to me.
Aren't you secretary?
I was, I mean, I am, but
She wasn't here yesterday, so
I
we'll
won't hear you.
get the minutes, we'll get the minutes together.